Good.
Just press the damn button, nerd.
Doo-doo.
Kill Jadis. Oh, yeah. Raider-oo.
What's up, Roo?
Thank you for your donation, my friend.
Absolutely, brother. Bringing the thunder early.
You are the leader of the clubhouse already. Be out. Tiger Raider, respect, my friend. Get your ass to Tennessee, bro.
Yeah.
We're going to hear from him tonight.
Who?
John?
No, from Tiger Raider.
Oh,
Well, good.
John, too. He's got an email.
About damn time.
About damn time.
Hey, John Ogle.
Wait to
Hey,
log
Paul.
into our show and they get chastised by one of the co-hosts.
Move to Tennessee. Call us more.
Do better.
You
Not gonna
blew
tell
it.
you again.
Oh, I suppose we need to take QB Jeff off of your thing there, Michelle.
Probably ought to.
I'm in drag.
You know that her logo actually looked pretty cool behind it in front of a shield.
Oh,
you
did
see
it
that?
really?
I saw
Yeah, it
that,
looked really
yeah.
cool. Hi, Ebony Graves.
Ebony.
Hey.
Seamus Harrington coming
Holy
in there
cow,
early.
Seamus.
Love it.
What's up, my friend? Your lucky number tonight is 5, Seamus.
Oh, nice.
Lucky number 5. All right, here we go. Let's kick it off. Episode number 288 of Raiders Fan Radio.
Hey, it's Mike Garafolo, NFL Network here in the home office, and you are listening to the Raiders Fan Radio podcast, taking that lighter journey into the dark side with Murph, Swag Jeff, and Michelle. She's got great hair. It's a little pink, it's a little purple, whatever it is. I'll tell you what, if I could grow it, I would sign up for that color today. So listen to her and the entire crew as they give you all the information on the Raiders on the podcast that benefits the One Nation Foundation. It's a great cause. It's a great pod. Tune in, turn it up. Here it comes. All that Raiders info and takes coming at you right now.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murph's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, Paletnikov, a leaking pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down. Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play. Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio. Take it away, guys.
Why, thank you, Brett Musburger. What is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murph back once again for what we trust will be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio, episode number 288, for those of you that are keeping count of Raiders Fan Radio. Of course, last time we were live here in the Fan Cave, it was episode number 286, but we skipped 280. Well, we didn't skip 287, but 287 was our draft show.
287 was like 4 parts.
It was like, yes. And they kept getting worse and worse the longer we are.
The more
Or better and better, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, those episodes were
Thank you,
sponsored by Tito's.
Yes, very much so. Yes. We had a lot
Wonderful sponsor.
That's right. And we had a lot of fun here in the Fan Cave for episode number 287. And, so we could do an episode number each and every week.
Yeah.
And so we skipped 287. But you know what, Jeff? 287s.
It's an easy.
It's an easy one. We'll get to that here in a little bit. But anyways, appreciate all of you that are joining us live in the chat room tonight. And you could join us each and every week at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. That is youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. And join the best of the best when it comes to chat rooms. All of our good friends are in there. It's not only the best in Raider Nation, but best in all of football and all of sports, if you ask me. Michelle Sweat, well, of course she's in there. I'm like,
There. How did I do that?
I'm Ron Burgundy. Eric Agua is in there. Ebony Graves is in there. The Grumpy Raider fan is in there. Tida Raider. Ebony Graves. Paul is in there. Wyo is in there. What's up, Wyo? Let's see. Who else we got in
Yoshi's
there?
in there. What's up, Yosh?
Yoshi. Sean Johnson is in there. Seamus Harrington is in there. B. Al is in there. So many of our good friends. We appreciate you all so very, very much. I watched... Raider Roo is in there. I watched Anchorman 2 the other day. I hadn't watched it in forever.
I've never seen Anchorman 2.
I have not seen this. I haven't
It's
seen the second
sneaky
one.
funny.
Have I?
Is it good?
Sneaky
Okay.
freaking funny.
All right,
Yeah,
good.
Yeah. All you got to know is at one point they're walking down the street and he goes, "Let's get perms." Perfect. and freaking and freaking not Breck. Who's the sports guy? Whammy, that guy. Champ. Yeah, so because Champ's bald, so he's just got like these puffs on the side of his head. It's hilarious. So anyways,
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. So anyways, all right. So anyways, enough about Anchorman 2. Let's talk about the Raiders. You guys don't talk enough about the Raiders.
Never.
Sometimes we don't.
Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we do. Every tune in on draft night, that's literally all we talked about. We didn't do any of our dopey stuff at all. We just talked 100% about the Raiders.
The last episode.
No, I thought, didn't we do pretty good?
We did pretty good, but the first 25 minutes of the show, you had your practice used Ken Stabler jersey on.
And the helmet. Yeah. And you know what's funny? So here I am. So this helmet that's here behind me, for those of you that are on the YouTubes, it's Kenny Stabler's practice helmet from 1973.
Yeah, legit. His actual
helmet. And so Jeff and I are getting ready to do our last segment. And, we'd imbibed a bit. And so we wanted to just do something silly. And so I'm like, what if I wear the Kenny Stabler hat and I'll wear it without my glasses? And so I put the thing on, and Jeff goes, "You kind of look like Stabler."
You actually look like Snake a little bit.
Yeah. So then I put on my Kenny jersey, but we just did it straight. Like we didn't acknowledge the whole thing that I was sitting there in Kenny's jersey and his helmet, and nobody said anything. I'm like, come on, except for one guy on YouTube after the fact in the comments, he said a bunch of laughing faces, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're wearing
Can I tell the real story?
Okay, well, let me introduce you first.
Would you?
As he tells you the real story, let me go ahead and turn it over to my best friend and yours, the man that adorns the Western Annex of the Murph's Fan Cave desk. He is Swag Jeff.
It's style and then profiling.
What's up, Swaggo?
What's up, man? Oh my gosh, it's so good to be here. So the real version of that story is that my best friend over here is partaking a little bit with the Tito's and said, "Oh crap, I left my hat downstairs."
Oh,
and I said,
yeah. That's
well,
right.
why don't you throw on one of those helmets? And he
This
goes,
is Murph's
"Okay,
first
deal."
time hearing this
so he
story,
throws
too.
on. So yeah, right. He's also hearing this for the first time. Yeah.
Do that.
Wow, that was a great show.
Absolutely, yeah.
What a fun idea.
So he throws it on, and he goes, and I go, "Oh my gosh, you look like Snake." And he goes, "Well, I need to go get my jersey." So it's right next to the hat that he left downstairs. Well, he forgot his damn hat, but he went and got his Stabler jersey. And so he comes back up looking like Snake and drunk like Snake is at the time, too. You know what I mean?
Doing a podcast by the Jukebox Light. Yeah,
That's it, man. That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm so fired up to be here. And I just got one thing to say, man. The summer of swag, it's here. It's here.
it is.
The
Kicking
summer
in.
of swag has officially begun. And can I go and shout out the people right quick, or should I?
Let's give it to Michelle
Okay.
and do some DraftKings.
Oh,
and then,
let's do
and
that.
Then, and then
okay,
absolutely.
So we don't do the show alone. So to my right, the southern annex of the western annex of the Murph's Fan Cave desk, my best friend and Murph's and yours, Michelle Swag.
Hey, welcome, Michelle.
I'll hit her button.
Oh, dang it. Oh, here we go.
It's style.
Nope. Well, it was called Flare. It's not Flare.
Yeah, there we go. It's like you hit the button. You didn't know it.
There we go.
Yeah, nice,
Sorry.
nice.
It was perfect. That was perfect. Perfect. It's always a good day when you're in the fan cave. So I'm happy to be here, guys.
There we go. And we love your new jersey.
Oh man,
My
right?
gosh, the
Look
thing
at
is
this.
sick.
That is cool. Yeah, she's got the Charles Woodson, and it's cool. It's like a custom thing with the stripes on the sleeves and the patch up front.
Stitched. How fancy
Yeah, that's
is
so
that?
Yeah, it's
dope.
fancy. It's
Thank
cool.
you.
And you got like
Yeah, it's got the
padding
elbow,
in the
you know,
elbows.
just in case I hit my elbow on the corner or something.
There you
that
go.
padding's
You're
right there.
protected, yeah.
Protected.
in case like a football game breaks out, you're just like
I'm
ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
I'm glad to have you here, Michelle.
Yes.
And Michelle's going to bring a lot of thunder to the draft tonight.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna be leading the show.
She's got all the info.
Look at these notes, guys. Look
Ooh,
at this.
hold on, let me get back to you.
Look, it's a mess. Don't read it. Don't read too close, but
Yeah, no spoilers.
there's
Don't
no
try to read
spoiler.
the
Don't
notes.
try to
Yeah,
read it.
yeah,
There-
yeah.
You wouldn't understand it anyway. Like, it's a mess, guys. And when I say it's a mess, it's a mess.
But yeah, good stuff there from Michelle coming up, and look forward to talking to her about the draft. But hey, before we get to the show proper, we got a really cool announcement here. So for those of you that are familiar enough with our show, we give all of the money away that we raise to the One Nation Foundation. That's our nonprofit that we formed a few years ago, and it goes out to strictly, at this point, Raiders-related charities. There might be opportunity for us to even branch out further, but as of right now, we give to Raiders-related charities, and we are a super funder of the Bolitnikoff Foundation, the Fred Bolitnikoff's foundation, and so all the money we raise goes away to our nonprofit, and including our advertising dollars. And I'm really excited to tell you about a new advertising partner that we have. And Raider Nation, I gotta tell you, man, and Raiders Fan Radio family, if you guys could come through on this one could be really big for us. And I say us, I mean the foundation, most importantly. And I'm talking about the folks at DraftKings. So they came to us with our fan-sided, of course, network, and approached us to be an advertiser on this show. And so here's what we got for you. Okay, we have it's a limited time promo only for new DraftKings users. So if you've not used it before, or if you've used it before, this won't apply to you. But this is all you got to do: deposit and place a $5 wager. It's $5. Okay, $5, and you get immediately when you place that wager on any sport, immediately you get $150 added to your account in bonus bets. Win or lose, doesn't matter how you do on that bet. You get a $5 bonus bet, and when you go to sign up, use our promo code. It's RFR to redeem the code. That's all you got to do. It's super simple. Costs you $5. Use code RFR, and it's a great way to support the pod. So if you don't have a DraftKings account, do us a solid and sign up with that code for your first bet. I'm not a DraftKings user. I will be now. And so I would just ask any of you, I know that a lot of you are like to put money down, and mostly I bet during football season. But listen, if you could just do that and wait, hold on to that money until football season comes around. But if you could help us out by doing that, this thing with DraftKings could turn into something pretty significant for the foundation. And so we appreciate you very much. We will have a link, of course, in the show notes, but it's simple enough. Just sign up at DraftKings, use promo code RFR, and you get that bonus bet of $150. So thank you,
Nice.
DraftKings folks. All right, so another thing we do around here is we take our episode number and we tie it back to something significant within Raider Nation. And as I mentioned, we have a 287 and a 288 to get to. So let me turn it over to my best friend and yours, Swag Jeff.
Absolutely. So 287, that's an easy one, right? So in the second round of the 2023 NFL Draft, in the second round, we selected Michael Mayer.
Michael Mayer.
So the 287. So he wears 87.
Yes, he does.
And he was in the second round. So congratulations. Nice. Immediate impact on Raiders Fan Radio is Michael Mayer, for sure. So, but episode number 288, that's where we are right now. So we're going back to 1977.
Oh, we love 1977.
Early 1977.
Let's
It's
go.
even better, right?
Let's go. Let's raise that trophy.
January of 1977. So the Raiders got their first Super Bowl victory by dominating the Minnesota Vikings 32-14. The Raiders set a Super Bowl record for most yards in a half. And that happened in the first half of that Super Bowl.
Oh, come on.
They had 288 yards. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's a good one, Swag Jeff.
Well, yeah. Oh, so hey, So I got more shit.
Yeah, it's your show.
Yeah, I got more shit. So like I said at the beginning of the show at the top, this summer of swag has officially begun. So much respect to that. So this is our big fundraising effort here in-house locally to all promote the One Nation Foundation there. So we've got a special one for you tonight, and we shouted it out on the social media, and we had some people actually hit us up, and we're going to highlight those people in just a moment here. But tonight we are giving away this signed AFL Max Crosby jersey.
She's a beaut, Clark.
Holy cow. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. So every $10 donation gets you one poker chip into the running to win that bad boy. And we've already got poker chips. We already got poker chips. So I want to say, so we had some people hit us up before the show and said, hey, I'm not sure if I'm going to make the live. If I'm not, I may be bouncing in and out, but go ahead and put me down for some chips. So
but more importantly,
they donated directly. They donated directly to our PayPal, which we're thankful for every donation, whether it comes in via super chat, anything like that. But if you ever want to get in the mix and do that and donate before the show, go ahead and get your early poker chips in. We keep 100% of that money that comes in. The super chats that come in, like we just had one from Wyoming Raider. Thank you so very, very much.
Thank you, Wyo. Appreciate that, bro.
Much respect to Wyo. But Google gets their cut. Google gets their cut of all of that. So I think, what did you say? The first 30 minutes of the show. So we're 15 minutes in right now. So for the next 15 minutes, if you would like to donate direct on our PayPal, go to onenationfoundation.net, click the donate button, donate right there, and let us know that, hey, I just made a donation into the PayPal. We'll get that, and we'll make sure you get your poker chips as well. But we had some people hit us up before the show and say, hey, not sure if we're going to make it. Here's this. So we already have five numbers right now 6 including Wyoming Raider. So I want to give much respect to Big Shane.
Yes,
Big Shane. Much respect. So he dropped a bunch of money and just said, hey, just pepper this in throughout several shows. So Big Shane, $100 donation to the One Nation Foundation.
Thank you, Big Shane.
So and then Jay Will donated $20 to the One Nation Foundation. So much respect to you. Raider Roo came in today and said, I want that Max Crosby jersey bad. And he donated $150 to the One Nation Foundation. Much respect. Sharon Moya donated $30 as well to the One Nation Foundation. Right here at the very top of the show, Seamus Harrington donated $20 as well.
Thank you, Seamus.
And then right here, right now, Wyoming Raider and Grumpy Raider fan, both with a $10 donation to the One Nation Foundation.
Right on.
So much respect to all you guys. So like I said, super chats, those are obviously, we appreciate those very, very much. But for the next 10-15 minutes, if you decide that you do want to go direct to our PayPal account and donate that way, we keep 100% of that money, and you just let us know that you're doing that, and we will make sure that you get those poker chips.
Absolutely. Good stuff.
Respect. Thank you.
Much respect. Thank you. Because it's like 30%, that Google keeps. And so very kind of those folks to not only, they're not even absent, they're here now, but just the idea that they recognize that and we're willing to do that. We appreciate that very, very much. All right, one last little bit of housekeeping to throw at you before we hit the contact info. I want to give respect to the good folks at Salt City Silver and Black, and they asked if we would shout out their Return to Glory party. We were hoping to maybe link up with these folks for the Raiders-Bills game, but now it's looking like the Raiders-Bills game might be in freaking London this year. And hey, much respect to Silver and Black UK. You guys enjoyed that game against the Bills, and frankly, that might be a better thing for the Raiders anyways. But it does miss us an opportunity for us to join up with our good folks at Salt City and Silver and Black. So anyways, it's Saturday, May 6th. That's 7 p.m. That's the Return to Glory. So if you're up there in the Northeast, go join them. Their home for Raider Nation is the Spinning Wheel up there in Syracuse, New York, and they're going to have DJ, and it's free to get in, and food and raffles, and it's Woodson Whiskey's one of the sponsors of this thing. And so those folks really know how to throw a party. They really do a great job up there of holding it down for Raider Nation up there in Syracuse. So definitely, if you're in that area, check them out. And even if you're not, help them with a retweet tweet and whatever else. They got a great Facebook page and a great, presence on social media. And that's our buddy Jay Morse and the rest of the Salt City Silver and Black folks. So much respect. Appreciate you all very, very much. All right, let's get some contact info and then give some respect.
Woo! Woo! Hey, Raider Nation! Woo! You got your old Uncle Mosh here with an updated contact info. So sit up, zip up, shut up, and pay attention. You can call us at 909-345-3346, or as Murph would say it,
909-345-3346.
How about emailing me? You want to email me?
Hey.
Email me at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. Or what about reaching out to us on some of that social media stuff Swaggy likes? Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast, the Twit at Twitter at Raiders Fan Radio, Insta something, Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio,
The tiki talkie talk.
TikTok at Raiders Fan Radio, or what about the Twitch? Some of you out there twitching. Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube. America, go to the YouTube. YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot.
Good. Oh, nicely done.
That was so
That was
Oh, man, I'm telling you.
damn.
That's a cohesive unit right there, I'm telling you.
No
That's
kidding,
it.
man. A well-oiled
Well-oiled
machine.
machine.
There we go. All right, so appreciate you all, Raider Nation, so very, very much for joining us here. All right, so here at the top of the show, we like to give a little bit of respect. We don't do props. We don't do shout-outs. There's nothing wrong with those things, but, we're Italian. We like to give some respect.
Murph, Swaggy J, Nation, it's time for a little respect. You know, respect ain't bought, it ain't sold, it ain't demanded, it ain't negotiated, it's earned. And without blowing smoke or giving shameless plugs, we want to say salute and much respect to the following folks.
Appreciate you giving to the Thanks for giving to the PayPal.
Go ahead, do it again, Jeff. I appreciate you all very, very much for the way that you support Raiders Fan Radio and giving to the PayPal. I know we already got a few in there that are giving to the PayPal. He says, where's the PayPal name? It's donation at onenationfoundation.net. I suppose we should have said that, by the way. That's my fault.
Okay.
You can go to our website, RaidersFanRadio.com, hit the One Nation Foundation link, and there's a donate button on there. But you can, I'm going to type it in.
I just put the link. I just put it in
Thank
the
you, Michelle.
chat,
Yeah. There you go. And so you could just hit that link there and then hit the donate button, and then that'll get you to the PayPal.
You got 6 minutes.
You got 6
We
minutes.
got 6 minutes, and we're going to shut that down. The reason that we're doing it this way is that we wanted to, in fairness, like going forward, everybody's just going to kind of know about it. But in fairness to the folks that are just hearing this for the first time tonight, we wanted to give you a window where you could get in on that to keep an even playing field for everybody.
And then once 6:30 ends, please super chat.
Yeah,
keep them coming.
Yeah.
Please do. Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, let's keep it open. We'll keep it going all night long. But so we appreciate you very much. All right, so I want to give respect to we already talking about Raiders tight ends tonight, and I want to give respect to one of the all-time great Raider tight ends. I'm talking about the legendary Raymond Chester, who was a great Raider back in I can't remember if he was drafted in the 60s, but it was mainly the 70s is where he made his mark. I believe it was. I'll bet you it's like 68 or something. He would check me on that. The chat room will know.
One of those epic drafts that we had.
Yeah, Rue will know. One of those guys will know what year Raymond Chester was drafted. But we got to meet Raymond Chester a couple times. So the first 2 times we did Biletnikoff, we were able to meet Ray Chester. First time we just shook his hand, and in fact, he signed a Crab Fest program that's hanging up right over there. But then the second time we met him was the first year that we did interviews, and we actually got a chance to interview Ray Chester. And just a really sweet guy, really full of a lot of great stories, and just an awesome guy. And again, a legendary Raider. Well, you know, the Raiders also have this history during the draft in the second round of celebrating moms and celebrating Mother's Day. And this tradition was started by the legendary Willie Brown, was then carried out by Charles Woodson. And now, knowing that Woodson was in Vegas for the draft this year and not announcing a Raiders pick, we were wondering, like, well, who's going to come out or will they even keep the tradition going of having Ray Chester, of having, the celebration of Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And sure enough, and I didn't know it was going to be Ray Chester. I didn't know who it was, if they were going to even do it at all. And here comes Ray Chester out to announce the Raiders. Was this their third round pick? I want to say, I can't remember.
It was.
It wasn't the second. It was the third round pick. So let's check in and listen to the legendary Ray.
You know, in the National Football League, they have a saying called next man up. They say next man up. And so I'm here representing the great and late Willie Brown, one of our great players, Hall of Famer. And Willie's tradition was to always remind all of you, each and every person out there and those watching on TV, to remember what's coming up in the next week or so. Mother's Day is coming up. Willie Brown took great pride in encouraging all National Football League fans and all our television audiences to remember your mom. Remember your mom.
All right, there we go. This is Ray Chester. Sorry, it kind of cuts off there. But so Michelle, being out of the three of us, the one that's a mom, what is it? How does that like resonate with you when you hear this acknowledgement?
I love it, and especially, I mean, in the NFL, you know, the moms are kind of the ones that are there when those guys start when they're little and take them to practice. I'm not saying that dads don't, because they do too, but a lot of times it's the moms that you see, and it's the moms that they thank. And so I think it's just a special thing to remind everybody out there and I know, like, not everybody has that good relationship with their mom, but she's your mom, and she kind of brought you into this world, and I think it's really cool. And then he carried that on, because things like that, they can kind of fade away, if the person who started it fades away, it can kind of go away. So the fact that he did that, I thought was really cool.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, and it was such a touching thing. And I miss Willie Brown a lot at various times, because he was such an amazing ambassador and representative of the Raiders. But that was always like, because he was kind of like, even as he got older, and like his mom was like 99, and he would come out, and just, it was like such a sweet, like organic thing that kind of came up. Like, this wasn't a contrived thing or anything. And I think
that meant something to him.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's why too, we haven't seen it duplicated.
Right.
Like, there's not been another team that's come out and been like, oh yeah, mom's day, or whatever. Like, nobody else does that. It's very unique to the Raiders, and I just, it's such a cool thing. I love it. It's one of my favorite traditions that we do around draft time, amongst a lot of others. And so, anyway, so much respect to the legendary Raymond Chester. All right, Swaggo.
Hey, so before we move on to our next respect segment, I want to give respect to some people that answered the call. That went to the PayPal, did some donations. Nice. So we've got probably 10 seconds left on that. So, Houston Raider Steve, $10 donation to the One Nation Foundation. Ron, a $40 donation.
Thank you, Ron.
Trinidad, a $20 donation.
Thank you, Trin.
And John Ogle, a $30 donation to the One Nation Foundation. So much respect to all of you guys. And then Big Shane, who had already donated $100 for this show, said, okay, I'll do 100 more. So $100 more to Big Shane.
Well, he said he hadn't got the check off yet, so I think so we just already just count that. That's his $100.
Oh, okay. Well, that's just $100.
Yeah, they'll just call it that. Yep.
Well, thanks, Big Shane.
Yes. Thank you, Big Shane.
Did you get Ebony just did a $20 PayPal donation?
Oh,
there we go. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Miss Ebony. Thank you.
Hey, much respect.
Dang. Oh, Chevy Silverado says, what's the prize?
Get ready.
What's the prize? What's the prize? It may be one of my favorite ones all summer.
Look at
Swag
that.
along is the
Look
AFL
at
signed
that.
Max Crosby jersey.
Pretty.
That is it's so pretty, man. I
That
love it.
thing's
I love it.
sweet.
I wish I could bid on it.
Same.
That thing is sweet. Let's see. So James Farrell in there. Hey, what's up, brother? Let's see. Raider Dad says, I need that shirt, Murph. Okay. So I'm wearing the new
Yes.
Raider Nation Radio, or Raider Nation Radio, Raiders Fan Radio, Raider Nation Invasion Tour t-shirt that Jeff and Jimmy Zebot came up with.
Yeah.
And so, you can find that at our TeePublic link. Here we are. We're just selling you guys shit tonight.
I mean,
You go to our TeePublic link, and that's you just go to
you go.
RaidersFanRadio.com/gear and click the Raiders Fan Radio logo, and then you'll find that. All right, enough of us trying to sell you something. Let's get talk about the Raiders. Let's give some more respect. So I didn't know who this guy was. His name is Frankie Mostro, and I want to give respect to Frankie. When he came out, they had his name, and then it just said content creator, and I'm like, we know a lot of content creators that are Raider fans. How come we don't know who this guy is? Well, apparently he's on like one of the Spanish networks and does car shows. Like, you see like car shows on like Mav TV or whatever else, like on Sundays or whatever.
Sure.
So he does like a car show, like doing like hot rods and all that kind of stuff. And so he hosts that, and the guy's a huge Raider fan. And this is what I want to give Frankie so much respect for. He's walking into the Lion's Den. The draft is in
Absolutely.
Kansas
In Kansas
City.
City, yeah.
So like there is no chance that you're not going to go out there and get booed. And you can do two things with that, right? Like you can push back and try to react adversely to the crowd, or you can have fun with it. Yeah. And Frankie has freaking fun with it. Lighter side journey into the dark side. And so much respect to Frankie for the way he announces our 4th round pick.
Hello, Raider Nation! Viva los Raiders! Viva los Raiders! Okay, let's do it. With the 104 pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, Las Vegas Raiders, Miss Raiders, select Jacorian Bennett, defensive back, Maryland.
Let's go.
There you go, Jacorian Bennett, one of the fastest players in this draft class, ran a 4.3 flat. He's played outside, he's played inside. I think he's ideally suited to be a nickel at the next level. The stop-start quickness.
All right, there's Daniel Jeremiah talking about the pick, but I love it. It's just so cool, Michelle, isn't it? Like
I love that,
You just
yeah.
immediately like that. That's like the crowd, the loudest the crowd has been, because there's like 17 people there watching the draft.
yeah. I have a lot of things I want to say about the draft, but yeah, it was fun to watch. To see him get up there and just really like dig it in. That's exciting. And
Absolutely.
it's with the all the Kansas City fans out there. I probably would have done the same thing.
Absolutely. Like I said, there was like 17 people there. They're all related.
And they were all of them. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Some
man,
married. Yeah. Married and related. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, old sister mom. But like, that's,
Oh my gosh.
I gotta say though, man, and there was a lot of talk about this, around from like Rich Eisen and a lot of the folks on NFL Network talk about the draft. If I heard once that Nashville had the best draft, they said it 10 times.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it really isn't. And in watching this draft and look, I'm not a huge fan of Kansas City just because obvious reasons, right? But I mean, I'm sure the people of Kansas City are fine, whatever. Sure. Like, okay. But when you talk about doing a draft like this, it really needs to be in a destination city. Like, and I think that they should do it like they do Super Bowls, and you have 4 or 5 locations, Miami, New Orleans, Nashville, Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe New York or LA at SoFi, whatever, something like. But a city where when you go, like people would want to visit it anyways. Look, ain't nobody vacationing in KC. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody vacationing in, I get Cleveland a little bit more, and no disrespect, Ron. But like I get Cleveland a little more because the Pro Football Hall of Fame's there. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, like why would, there's a reason we had 600,000 people in downtown Nashville for the draft when we were in Vegas last year for the draft. I don't know how many people were there, but it was freaking fun.
Yeah.
Like it was so damn fun to be in Vegas for the draft. So NFL, I really think they need to get this thing figured out. Because again, it just wasn't. It wasn't a big turnout, and you could tell the vast majority of people there were just Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh no, that was absolutely apparent that it was mostly just Chiefs fans that probably came from down the street, you know,
Yeah,
because it was free and it was there. Yeah. I Nashville was, and of course, I mean, I was here, so it was so cool though, and even looking at aerial shots of drafts that happen, like you can see that the aerial shots in Nashville, man, there was so much to do. You saw the aerial shot in Kansas City. It was kind of like looked like a park, you know, like just a bunch of grass. Like, I mean, I'm sure there were things to do in and around, I'm sure, but yeah, just I don't know. And the Nashville draft, you saw representation from every single team, like big groups of people.
100%.
You looked at the Kansas City; it was all Kansas City fans, or mostly. I mean, everyone. I was really looking. I was like, oh, here's a Crosby jersey. Oh, there's a Jacobs jersey. Just trying to find my people, and it was kind of like, don't do that again.
Every one of them had Mahomes jerseys on.
Every one of them.
No one had a Trent Green jersey, or no one had anything like that. It was all Kelsey and friggin' Mahomes
with tags still on them. You know, just from the last few years,
just in case that they suck.
That way they can take them back. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, it really was. I mean, Nashville was amazing. And you're right, Michelle. And the thing that makes Nashville unique is that like they built the draft stage on the river, right in the middle of downtown Broadway, where all the freaking honky tonks and everything else in the world is when it comes to Nashville. That's like party central right there. And then you walk across a pedestrian bridge to the stadium, and that's where all the like draft, that's where all the kids' activities, and they had flag football games going on, and like all the food, and like it was just a perfect layout. And so then you look at Kansas City and it was like at some of those drone shots, I'm like, this looks like a state fair.
That's exactly
like it just,
and
not even a state fair, maybe a county fair,
right? Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like just
at the Ag Center. Like it wasn't even like it just didn't.
Yeah. There's some goats walking around, and they weren't the greatest of all time. Yeah.
No.
Anyways, but so shout out Vegas draft, Nashville draft, and let's.
I mean, you might as well have it in Iowa or something. You know, like no offense to Iowa, but like it just didn't
For
look
real.
like there was a whole lot to do there.
No, like let's get it in some cool destination cities,
Yeah.
some cool, nice, warm weather destination cities.
Well, it's in Detroit next year, so
Like, see, like,
Is it really?
and see, and look, and this is no disrespect to
really.
anybody in Detroit or
Sure.
whatever. Like, and I'm sure there's not a lot of Detroit people listening to us, but I'm sure
Right.
there's Raider fans up there.
all apologies to Eminem. He's a huge Detroit. I don't want him to be mad at me. So
Well,
he's
okay,
a huge
there you
Detroit
go.
fan.
Right.
so.
So, but I mean,
But
like,
yeah.
no disrespect to Detroit, but like, it's fine. But like, people aren't
I'm
vacationing
not
in
booking my
Detroit.
rooms today for the draft in
That's what I mean.
People are hanging out at 8 Mile.
Right.
Yeah, like it just. I mean,
Yeah.
barely Chicago even.
Right.
Like I could see Chicago.
Yeah.
That's I don't know what.
I think we could go through a lot of the teams and think, no, that's not a destination. Like, just have a few.
Yeah, well, like Denver too
rotate 'em.
cold, Seattle too cold. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like it's got to be warm weather and it's got to be destination. So like that's where even like New York is like.
Yeah, that's still iffy too.
It's still kind of iffy too. If you're gonna do it outside, if you're gonna do it old school style, classic Radio City or Music Hall,
Right.
like then fine.
That's
but if you want to have a
different,
big thing, like you kind of, I mean, maybe Carolina ish. Nah,
Maybe. I don't even know.
I mean.
I wouldn't, but that's just
Charlotte. I mean, Charlotte's great for
you could
college
see them,
football.
You could
but
see. I mean, I feel like you could see him go to like Tampa. I feel like that would
maybe
probably
Tampa. But if you're going to go to Florida, go to Miami.
Miami,
That's
for
what
sure.
That's what I'm
True.
saying.
Yeah, true.
It's Miami, New Orleans, Vegas, Nashville.
I mean,
like those.
you could say
four.
L.A.
And
LA
LA. There you go.
probably-
And
LA
there's
would
your
be a
fifth.
good one to
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
to, stuff
Yeah.
like that. But yeah.
Hell, I wouldn't even go to Dallas. I wouldn't even go there, but that's probably because
Well, and they've had it, and they've had it in
But yeah.
Dallas, and it didn't look all that exciting.
No, it
Like,
didn't look good.
you know, Philly didn't either. But
Yeah.
anyways, all right, I'm not going to pick on all these other cities. But come on, NFL.
Hi.
This is AJ Cole from the Las Vegas Raiders, and you're listening to Murph, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Just win, baby.
So Big Shane said that he hadn't sent the check yet, but I already had him down for $100. He goes, well, if you already had me down for $100, then keep it. He goes, so now Big Shane has $200 into the running for this.
Show it again.
Absolutely. We're going to show this thing 100 times tonight.
There you go.
Signed Max Crosby AFL jersey, man, with a certificate of authenticity from PSA JSA. Get you some, man. This is
not
awesome.
PSA.
PSA.
It's a public service announcement. Thanks for donating.
Yeah, it's a PSA. But yeah, man, get in the mix, man. Every $10 donation now, super chat, gets you into the running to win that bad boy. So get in the mix. Get in the mix.
Awesome. And hey, Michelle, shout out the chat room. Who do we got in there?
Okay, we got the Grumpy Raider fan. We got Chris Potts, Wyo's in there, Raider Lorian 93, House Junkies, Paul, Tida's in there, Chevy Silver Raider. I said Raider Lorian, Foxy's in there.
What's up, Foxy
I
Scorpio?
said House Junkies. Oh, let me scroll. Oh, Ebony, Miss Ebony's in there.
Ebony.
Sean Johnson's in there. James Farrell. Okay, John Ogle's in there. Shane
John.
Tolbert, Raider Roo.
Fantastic. Yoshi's in there.
Alfred Esparza's in there. I said Raider
Custom
Trinidad's in there, of course.
Custom Cali Tools.
did I miss
Sinclair
that?
Incline is in there.
Oh, I
Jason
did,
Hunter.
yeah.
We've got a lot of folks in there. We
popping up on
appreciate
me.
you all very, very much for
we do.
joining us for this episode 288. All right, so I suppose 40 minutes into the show, Michelle, we probably should talk about the Raiders.
Oh, maybe. I mean, I guess.
Man, I've got certain information, all right? Certain things have come to light, and, given the nature of all this new shit, this could be a lot more complex. I mean, it might not be just such a simple,
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm blathering about. I've got information, man. New shit has come to light.
That's right. New shit has come to light. And Michelle, I don't know if you heard, but we had a draft.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah,
There was a draft?
There was a draft, and we selected some new Raiders. So let's go.
Man,
Let's give it up to these young men who are now new Raiders. And, so this is pretty fun. So I'm not a believer in nor, frankly, endorse, not that my opinion matters all that much, but draft grades to me are like mock drafts. Like, guess what? Everybody that ever did a mock draft had it blown out of the water by the time we got to pick 3. And I don't begrudge anybody for doing a mock draft. You guys do your thing and have fun with it. But there's a reason that we don't do that stuff around here, is because none of them ever turn out. They all get dusted out of the water right away, and then it completely ruins the whole rest of it. So anyway, so I'm not a huge fan of mock drafts. And I don't remember how I even got on that subject about because I was talking about draft grades.
Yeah.
So also, too, I'm not a big fan of draft grades because you don't know what a draft looks like until you get 3 or even 4 years later down the road. And listen, this is not me trying to make an excuse for what Raider drafts of the past, or especially the recent past, have looked like, because look, there's been a lot of ugly results when it comes to our drafts. Unfortunately, I think the Henry Ruggs thing probably was one that that could have been a good draft. Ruggs was becoming a pretty good player before he made some very unfortunate and very sad decisions.
He pled guilty this week.
Yeah,
I saw that, man. He's going to only do 3 to 10 years.
3 to 10.
So 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's whatever. I'll save that commentary.
Yeah.
But so anyway, so the Raiders, oh my gosh, man, we got things popping in the chat room there. Go ahead, Swaggo.
Absolutely. So Chef B said, "Let's go." #Mad Max with a $20 donation. So much respect to you, Chef B.
Thank you, Chef B.
And then Jason Hunter says, "I'm very excited about Michael Mayer because I am a Notre Dame fan, but he is going to be an awesome addition to the offense, and the UFDAs also look legit." $100 donation to the One Nation Foundation. Much respect.
Man, y'all are bringing it tonight, man.
No kidding.
You all are bringing it tonight. Thank you very, very much. And again, for those of you that don't know,
This could be a record night.
Oh my
gosh. I'm just saying, man.
Listen, Max Crosby's jersey, though,
it's legit.
It is a legit thing.
I'll just say this: we're almost to $700.
Wow!
Already, man. What?
That was awesome.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
We appreciate you guys so very, very much. And again, all that money, 100%, goes to our nonprofit, the One Nation Foundation. And I'm going to say this. Then I promised them we're going to stay in the Raider talk after I say this. But I want you guys to know this: that your money's not only going to our foundation super funds the Bolitnikoff Foundation, which funds a place called Tracy's Place of Hope and a place called the Bolitnikoff Center of Hope. And they are bringing in and not only providing safe space for young women that are at risk of substance abuse and domestic violence, but they are offering them rehabilitative and counseling services and preparing them to go back out and to reacclimate into their life on their own, and giving them the tool sets and all the things that are needed for them. So it's not only about getting them safe in the moment, but it's about setting them up for success in the future. That's where this money goes. So all this money that we raise, and we love you guys for your generosity. And yeah, you're going to get a cool prize, and we always will maybe throw in a coffee mug or some t-shirts too. But and same thing goes for our advertising dollars and the merchandise sales and all that. That's what your money is doing. You're literally changing young women's lives. Like, that's what we're focused on.
Yeah.
And so thank you very, very much for your generosity and what you guys are doing. All right. Okay. So we got a draft, and we got a bunch of new young men that are coming into the building. First and foremost, let's check in with our first round draft pick, which this was, I don't get married to players. We've talked about that before, but this was my guy. Once I saw this guy on Good Morning Football and saw him pick up Kyle Brandt and bear hug him, just like he did to the commissioner when he got picked.
100%.
Like, I'm like, this guy's legit. But here's what I really like about him even more so is that he's now, we are the all arms team. But between him and Max Crosby, those guys could probably like stretch out, hold hands, and touch each sideline.
God,
Well, yeah. Well, so, we talked about that when he was picked. So we talked about that, he is, his wingspan is taller than Shaq. And he's like, and I think he was 1 inch, his wingspan is like 1 inch shorter than Andre the Giant or something like that, or 2 inches shorter. And he's wider than a freaking F-150. Like, I mean,
insane.
the dude is a freaking monster.
That's amazing.
Dude.
That's amazing. All right, so let's check in as we hear Tyree Wilson, of course, who we're talking about, defensive end, edge rusher out of Texas Tech, as he gets the call from Dave Ziegler.
Tyree, this is Coach McDaniels. How are you?
And that guy, too.
I'm doing great, buddy. Are you there with your family? That's great. Well, we're going to turn the pick in here, and you're going to be a Raider. So we just wanted to congratulate you. You're really going to help our football team. We're looking forward to integrating you here with our group, and couldn't be more excited to make you a Raider here, bud.
Welcome to Raider Nation, big boy. We're excited, man. Smart, tough, dependable, guys that love football. And we're going to get you better and, keep growing you. And it's going to be a special thing for you. We're really excited for you and your family. Enjoy this moment with everybody. You'll see it coming across the screen. We'll see you here sooner than later.
I love him and his mom hugging, of course, All right, good stuff there as Tyree Wilson gets the call from Ziegler and McDaniels. And so, I was thinking, and there's a lot of people in there talk about the Condor 2.0, right? Because
Raider Roo called him Tyree Dactyl.
I love that.
I think that's my favorite one because
I love that.
When you look, I was looking. So this was my show prep for this week. I was trying to find an animal that had really super long arms and like what would be a cool nickname for him. But it's like when you look at like animals that have like the longest wingspan per their body size, it's like a sloth. And I'm like, I don't think anybody's gonna want to be called sloth. Like that ain't gonna work. So so I like
That's
Tyree.
What they're gonna call Jalen Carter.
Oh, we'll call him the sloth.
Yeah.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Fat.
Says he's fat.
That ain't true. That's not true. Or says he's fat.
That ain't true.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and I know there was a lot of people that wanted us to go Jalen Carter, but look, and I think that no matter what, when you have, even if it was indirectly related, when you have a fatality due to an automotive accident, the Raiders were not going to go anywhere near that.
Absolutely not.
Period. And then on top of that, he had questions about some of his work ethic and some of his play in games. And also, like, showed up to his pro day out of shape. Like,
that ain't true. That's not true.
Maybe it is.
Or says he's fat.
It's true.
So, right, Michelle?
Well, yeah,
but
and the Raiders weren't the only one, that I think everyone took that into account. The thing that we don't know, we can just watch tape and know that somebody's good. We don't have sit downs with them. We don't have conversations with them.
Yes.
They sat and had conversations with all of these prospects and were able to, you have to think about character, and you have to think about futures in Vegas, and those you have to think about those things. And obviously the Henry Ruggs things is a completely separate situation, but it is still there, and you have to take that into account. And we can only see what's on the tape. We can't see what that dinner was like, what those conversations were like.
That's a great
point. And Tyree Wilson, gave them what they were looking for, not just in his production on the field, but in his character and in his work ethic and his motor. All of those things they were able to see in the one-on-one sit-downs with him. We don't get to see that. We didn't get to see that, with any of the other players that came through. So
that's a great point, Michelle. As Swaggo, Shane Tolbert in the chat says, Tyree was a Raider in high school, a Red Raider in college, and now a Raider in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean,
talk about once a Raider, always a Raider.
Once
That's
a Raider,
amazing,
always
man.
a Raider, forever a Raider, man. So so it was destiny for sure. So a lot of people, were so mad that we didn't go Jalen Carter, right? Best player available, but was he though? I don't really know if he really was. And all these people are up in arms, but let's not forget that the Texans passed on him.
Exactly.
And the Colts passed on him. And, the Colts needed a quarterback, obviously. Sure. The Seahawks didn't. They passed on him. The Lions passed on. I mean, he fell at 10. Pick 10. There was a lot of teams that passed on him as well. So don't think that this is not just a fault of the Raiders. And don't, point your fingers at Ziegler and McDaniels and go, what are you doing? There was a lot of teams that felt that same way, and like you said, Tyree seems like an amazing kid. He's a great guy.
Seems like a sweet kid,
just a good guy, man. And like you said, he's been a Raider his whole life. So why change? I'm sure he's got shirts from high school that says Raiders.
Right. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So okay, deal.
I love it, man. I love it. And like you mentioned, not only, and there's a lot. I know that your quality of a football player is not defined by the character that you have, and the Raiders are littered with misfits in our past and our history and whatever. But I think that especially when you consider, I think you made the point, Michelle. When you're considering bringing a kid to Vegas, and these are kids, they're kids, they're 21.
They look like men, but they are kids. Yeah.
Bringing a kid to Vegas, I think that, and granted, I think we have good mentors on this team, especially when you look at Max Crosby and the things that he dealt with early in his career and turned his life around. And so I think there's strong leadership that already exists, especially at this position and on that D line. But I think that when you consider that the success is there for Tyree Wilson in a better path than it would have been for Jalen Carter, and let's not act like this dude isn't a freaking badass. That's the thing, is that I get it if you didn't get your guy, but if your guy is Josh Allen and you go Cleve Farrell, we're all going, what? Oof. That's different. This is not that. This is not that same thing. You know what I mean? So anyways, I'm encouraged. And so
and you got to think too, I think Tyreek, we talked about him a little bit. I think Tyree plays inside some too. I really think
that's what QB Jeff was talking about.
You see a lot of looks where you see Chandler Jones, Tyree Wilson, and Max Crosby and Tillery as a front four, and holy shit! If you're Patrick Mahomes or anybody else, you're looking at that going, "Whoa, okay, I better get this thing out quick because these boys are coming."
Absolutely.
So I'm all about it, man. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. Absolutely, getting a wide 9 where you got Max all the way out on that edge, and then Tyree set up outside of that, and just freaking dude, there's a lot of possibilities here. All right, so we mentioned a couple of times how he just seems like a sweet guy, and so let's check in with him post getting drafted.
It was never a surprise. I went on a good 30 visit. We had a good visit, and it was just a matter of time. And got the call, and I knew it was the right fit. I'm a dominant pass rusher. They got great pass rushers in the program, so I want to learn off, Max Crosby and Chandler Jones. Somebody that has done it at a high level for multiple years. A versatile player, somebody that's, even if it's good pass rushers on the edge, be able to play inside and, help them get to the quarterback, and also, help the team get sacks and, wins. And then somebody that's dominant and somebody that's going to be explosive and be disruptive. It's different. I never went through this process before. So, it's all business, and, I'm excited. Not everybody got the opportunity to go through that process, and I was blessed, so I had to take advantage of it. I wanted to, you know, have a flashy suit. So me and the suit guy Robbie designed this.
Swag.
It was a little stressful.
Swag.
Swag. And the black
You got that
fit
swag, bruh.
Fire.
Yeah, it's meant to be. Man, it's just a lot of excitement, a lot of hard work paid off finally. I'm ready to just get to Vegas, a great organization, and get to link up with Chandler Jones and Max Crosby.
All right, so here's what he mentions his suit there.
Yeah.
Swag Jeff, I'm gonna turn over to the swag correspondent here on Raiders Fan Radio. I did notice because like a lot of the drafted players, they always have like really like like really big outfits, bright outfit,
100%.
whatever. Like they're really trying. But this year, I gotta give him credit. I thought it was cool, like the way that like if they were like. I don't know if I'm down with the tapered pants thing with the high waters and the sneakers and all that kind of stuff. Okay,
Yeah, I do
because
too. Yeah.
look, I'm the old man when it comes to fashion.
Yeah,
but like
no one in the world needs to take fashion advice from Murph.
Listen, man.
No,
Some people in the world might.
Thank you, Michelle.
Cousin Sonny, maybe.
I was at the no, I'm gonna sidebar. When I was at the dentist a couple weeks ago, and so or last week even, and I go and I'm laying in the chair and I'm wearing a Raiders sweatshirt, a gray pair of Dickies, my Van socks pulled up in a pair of Vans, and the girl looks down at my feet and then she looks at me and she goes, "Where are you from?" And I go, "From California." And she goes, "I knew it. I'm from Santa Barbara. Nobody else around here wears shoes like that."
There you go.
There
you go.
See,
No,
some people maybe at the dentist.
Well, there you go.
But anyways,
you, Sonny, and your dental hygienist.
That's
There's the three of you guys.
a lot
Well,
more than
you
you
did
think.
say nobody. So.
Well, that's true. That's just three of us strong. Yeah,
absolutely.
Shout out the
three strong. But
all right, but anyways, I really do. But there was to me, it was a more classic look going on. They had like classically cut suits and they're like the black, but then they would have like flowers painted on them and stuff. I thought they looked badass. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so the suit was amazing. He had the chain on that had his TW logo on it. That's like Swag Jeff wearing Swag Jeff shirts. You know what I mean? So I'm all about that as well. But yeah, the higher pants. That's what the kids are doing.
That's what the kids are doing.
That's what the
I
kids
like
are doing.
it. I do.
You
like
do?
it. I do.
I love
I
it,
do.
man. It's
Yeah,
so fresh.
I do. It is.
He looked like $1 million, man, wearing his sunglasses. The sunglasses were sick as well.
They
he
were.
throws on that Raider hat, and I'm telling you, seeing Tyree Wilson in the suit that he had on, throwing that Raider hat on, that I'm not a big fan of, the draft hat.
Yeah.
So I'm not wasn't a huge fan of it.
No disrespect, Paul.
But now I am.
Oh, okay.
But now I am, because I saw him wearing it. I'm like, ooh,
Yeah,
man,
he rocked it.
Was
freaking fresh.
the white one, right? Or was it the black one?
Yeah. No, it was white. It was the white one or the gray one or whatever it was. Yeah. No, dude, it was sick. It was sick.
That's cool.
And then he picked up Goodell like a newborn baby.
Yeah, that was great, wasn't it?
Newborn baby.
He's like that.
So precious.
And Goodell looks so tiny in his arms. Could have squeezed him.
Hopefully, freaking offensive linemen look the same way. Look like little babies in his arms.
Right.
Yeah. So so we're stoked for Tyree Wilson. I think that's going to be a great pickup. All right, Swag Jeff. We drafted again.
We drafted in the second round.
We did.
We
and
moved up.
We moved up to get this guy, and this kind of came out of nowhere. And I gotta pull back from my opinion on draft night because I didn't expect us to do anything other than defense for the majority of this draft. So when we came in, moved up to get our second round pick, and it was a tight end, I was like, wah, wah. Like I was not a big fan of this pick. But now, after going back and researching a little bit, go figure, when you actually like go and read and watch some film and watch some tape on some of this stuff, Jeff, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, you are. What is this? So costume change. Uncle costume change right there. Yeah. Oh, with the 87. Yes.
Let's go, Michael Mayer.
Play like a champion today. Wait. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. So we just talked about swag. We just talked about the drip, man.
Yeah.
And you've had a costume change on Raiders Fan Radio. which is something that Swag Jeff is notorious for doing.
Well, yeah, but let's tell the audio listener what just happened.
Well, so if you're listening on the audio and you haven't watched on the video, so Murph just he shed his new Raiders fan radio shirt. He throws on the Dave Casper and throws on a Notre Dame hat. So we're going to be talking about that, but before we do that...
No, but I want to tell why.
Okay, we'll do it.
Because there's something very significant about why I chose to put on a Dave Casper jersey and a Notre Dame hat, okay? Check this out, Raider Nation.
Hey, by the way, Jason Hunter is a Notre Dame fan as well. And so he threw in another $10 because you did that. So respect.
Right on. Thank you very much. That's awesome. All right, so this is crazy. So the last time the Raiders drafted a tight end from Notre Dame, it was the legendary, the ghost, Dave Casper. Both Casper and Mayer played at Notre Dame, of course.
Right.
Both wore number 87.
Right.
Both were drafted in round 2 by the Raiders, and both are 6'4" dog tight ends.
Holy cow.
So here's the thing. It was so funny. His nickname is Baby Grunk.
Okay.
It's Baby Dave.
Baby Dave.
Baby Dave,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Isn't there Baby
Yeah.
Ghost even we could go with? Right? I love this pick. Again, because after going in and watching him, and I know you've got some notes on it, Michelle, but he's explosive, he's like quick to separate. He's not a fast guy. He's not Darren Waller. He's not going to burn somebody, but he's got such a suddenness to the way that he runs routes. He's got absolutely vice grips for hands. You throw it anywhere near this guy, he's going to get the freaking football. And I'm stoked, man. And he's not the greatest blocker yet, but with that big body, this is a great freaking
We don't need
pick.
him to be the greatest blocker.
Right.
We've got O.J. Howard and we've got Austin Hooper and we've got some other folks coming in. So I'm not worried about that. I want this guy to go down the field and get the ball.
And catch the ball.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
it. Yeah. Yeah. And the three things that kind of stood out to me was, and you just said it, big bodied, soft hands, and a red zone threat. And I think that's what we want, especially with Jimmy Garoppolo throwing at him. That's the money shot right there. And okay,
this is now his George Kittle, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He caught 67 passes for 809 yards and 9 touchdowns just in one, in one season last season. So having somebody that has Velcro for hands, we need that. How many times, Raider Nation, have we watched balls bounce off of somebody's stoned
Darren
ass
Waller
hands?
twice last year in the Titans game.
3 times, I think.
Oh, my bad.
Well, I mean, and Foster Moreau too. Like he
Pittsburgh.
bounced. He had some issues. So I want somebody that's gonna catch the
Yeah.
beep. It takes a second to get there.
my button should ball. That's what my button should really be right there. No, we want somebody that's gonna catch everything that comes at him. Like that's the goal. And so I love this. And also too, and I didn't write it down because I just heard it in passing, but I think we were like 3rd for picking the most defensive players. I don't know where I heard that, and I'll look it up, and if I'm wrong, I will come back and apologize. But we still, over the course of all of it, and then in the free agency and all that, did really well defensively. So I know this scared a lot of people because why are we taking offense? But it's okay because this guy I think is going to be. We needed it anyway.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that was the thing is I was thinking well, we got 2 tight ends. What do we need to draft a guy for? But we've got 2, which I think still are going to be good tight ends, and O.J. Howard and Austin Hooper. But they're on 1-year deals. Yeah. And how many Raiders have we seen, mostly at wide receiver, but how many times have we seen guys come in, have good years, and then all of a sudden they're gone, signing 2 or 3 year deals elsewhere.
Right.
This is a great play for us because this is a long-term play. The Raiders can, we're going to have him at a minimum of 4 years, obviously.
Right.
And if he has any of the kind of productivity that we expect him to have, he's going to be a Raider for a good long time. So this is one I was wrong on draft night.
Paul and the good stuff both said 3rd most defensive picks.
There you go. 3rd most defensive picks. Absolutely. So I think it's great. And I'm definitely stoked for this one. The other thing about him, Swag Jeff.
Yeah.
Dude's he's got a Dudley Do-Right look to him. He's got the biggest, the gnarliest chin line. The guy looks like a superhero.
It's chiseled.
Like Johnny Bravo out there, man.
Yeah, he looked like Buzz Lightyear out there.
There you go, Buzz Lightyear.
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, don't be, but we already have a king. We already have a king of jawline.
What are you
on
talking
the
about,
Las
man?
Vegas
I
Raiders.
think Michael Mayer's the guy, dude.
Well, but we've already got a guy, and I've got my guy. Speaking of costume changes,
There we go. Okay.
Speaking
Are
of
you going to try to
costume
costume
changes.
change me?
Listen. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're not wrong about that jawline.
So
You're
for
not
those
wrong.
of you that are on the audio podcast, Swag Jeff has flashed up his brand new Jimmy Garoppolo jersey. So now
That's why I got offended. Because you pointed out a jawline that maybe was a little, although I will say they're two different kinds of jawline. One's like a meathead jawline and the other one is like a it's like a different jawline. So, you're both right.
a Bunny Ranch jawline.
So now we have on the defensive side of the ball, we have the all arms team, and then on offense we have the all chin squad.
Oh man.
Right? Yeah. Oh my gosh, good stuff there, Swagger.
Well, yeah, and hey, much respect to Sun or River, who just donated us €10.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
so much respect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Have I missed any others in there?
Jay Morse.
Speaking of Salt City, Silver and Black.
The Salt City, yep. Donated $20 as well.
Thank
So
you,
much
Jay.
respect.
Thank you, Jay. We just shouted out your party there at the top of the show if you missed it. We appreciate you very, very much. All right, so here we go. Let's go back to getting the call. So we heard Tyree Wilson get the call, and let's check in as Michael Mayer. So this is great. So Tyree Wilson was, of course, at the draft in the green room, so you can only, react so much with only a limited amount of family. My favorite ones are these ones where these guys are at home and they're surrounded by their family, and that you hear them get the call. But my favorite part of these things always has been when they hang up and the family responds to it is the best.
We just traded with Indianapolis, run a clock down, and you're going to be a Raider. So
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Good. Yes, sir. We're fired up, and congratulations. I'm going to hand the phone to Dave Ziegler, our general manager, and then you enjoy this with your family, and then we'll be in touch with you here shortly with some logistics. Okay, bud? Congratulations and welcome. You got a big guy. Here's Dave.
Michael,
How you doing?
welcome to Raider Nation.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We couldn't be more excited, man, to add you to the team. Congrats. Enjoy the moment with your family. We'll have someone in touch with you in terms of some travel and things like that, but enjoy the moment, man. You earned it.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. See you.
Yes, that's the best.
There's always that one little brother that's like, let's go.
Absolutely, man. Well, so what I really, really loved about that, and I love all the picks that the Raiders made, but this second round pick, picking Michael Mayer, like that's so cool. Like, so you see this guy, Michael Mayer takes to social media right away. Yeah. He's at his house and he's got his phone like this, and he's going, "Hey, Raider Nation, I'm super pumped to be a Raider. I can't wait to get to work." Like all this stuff, like. Okay, like you bought it. It took you about like a second and a half to get bought in, and you're all in, and we love it, man. This may be the most exciting pick. I'm so fired up for this.
It's my second favorite. I think I've got one more. Well, I don't know. We'll just say tied. I got two of them that I really love. Two of them I'm in love with.
Yeah.
That doesn't count. It's. Well, I'll say this. You have a top round pick like Tyree Wilson,
right?
That's like the cream of the crop. Like that's the
cream rises to the top.
It's of its own thing because that's day one starter, impact player. That's like, and going into the draft, like we were saying, like we want to have like 3 guys that can be starters, maybe, 4 or 5 that can get some snaps. Like, you know what I mean? There's kind of different ways to look at it. But the ones that are like sneaky good later in the rounds, like Max Crosby, Hunter Renfrow, the guy. Those are the ones that I really like. Those kind of become my favorites because they have so much ceiling.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like, we expect Tyree Wilson to come in day one and, have 5 or 6 sacks this season and play, thank you, Jeff, and play, 60% of the snaps. He's not going to play. I don't think he's going to play as many as maybe if Chandler Jones wasn't in the building. Like these guys are going to not probably rarely be on the field at the same time, or at least not frequently. So I think he's going to be limited in snap count total, where Michael Mayer will be on the field the whole time.
Right.
Like very rarely will he come off the field. So anyways, so Michael Mayer's definitely one of them, but I have another one later on that I want to get to.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. But let's one last thing on Michael Mayer, because I this is certainly the most exciting offensive pick for us, and offense freaking sells tickets.
Yes.
So let's check in with Daniel Jeremiah on the Pat McAfee show as he kind of gives you the general breakdown here on what we have to look forward to, and then we're going to get into the next pick.
I just thought in a draft where there was so much uncertainty and so many guys were exceptions, like not tall enough, not big enough, not fast enough, not enough starts. Like there were all injuries, like all these other things. Like Mayer was one of literally like the cleanest players in the whole draft and was steady through the process. Like he kind of passed every test. I don't think he's going to be like the elite player, but he's ready to go. The guys in Notre Dame were like, he'll learn the offense in a mini camp. Like this dude's incredibly bright. He stepped right on the field there and had an impact. So I thought in this draft for sure, this guy's a lock to go in the first round. So him going outside the first round was a little bit of a stunner. But if you look back, I think in years from now, you'll look at day 2 as being kind of the real guts of this draft. I don't think the first round was quite as good as some of the other first rounds we've seen. And I don't think in the back end, it was maybe quite as deep as we've seen. But second, third round this year, there's a lot of really, really good players. So that to me was the guts of the draft.
Man, that's good stuff there, man. Appreciate hearing from DJ on that. And yeah, this guy, I think the Raiders are trying to move back into the first round.
I think they were to get him.
Like that's kind of what they were trying to do. And so there's an article. I'm not going to read you guys this thing tonight because we've got so much to get to. But there's a fantastic, and I pick on a lot of reporters for being anti-Raider, whether it's the local guys or sometimes some of the national guys. And one of those is Peter King. Peter King can get really kind of shitty about the Raiders, but he wrote a piece in his Monday Morning Quarterback, and I've got it right here, and it basically details out the timeline of the Raiders draft room from start to finish. And it's a really, if you want to get a good behind the scenes of what it's like, for a team, on draft day, it's fantastic. It talks about Mark Davis coming in and like shouting like it's game day, like let's go, like this really kind of like hyping up the room. And it goes from the tick down from when the Panthers picked Bryce Young, like all the way through it. And it details about how the amount of movement that the Raiders were not only to be able to do, but even the ones that they weren't able to get done is really interesting. And so anyway, so you get a really nice insight to it. And in here it talks about how they tried to move back up to get Michael Mayer, because assistant GM Brian Kelly is noted in here saying he thought he was the best tight end in the draft, like even ahead of what's the guy out of Iowa that went first? Kincaid, ahead of Kincaid, ahead of Laporta. And that was the thing too, that on draft night, when that happened, you and me and QB Jeff, when Laporta got drafted, that's when all of a sudden all the rumors started. We were like,
absolutely,
this is going to kick off a run on tight ends, because we knew there was so many good tight ends in the draft. And when Laporta was the second one taken, it was like Kincaid wasn't a huge surprise, but when Laporta was taken as the second one, the Raiders were like, let's go get Michael Mayer. Like, let's sell out and go get that dude.
That's so funny to me that happens. The run on certain position, that always fascinates me. That is like it's, I can't remember what it's called, but like when you see something and it starts to like go away, it's like, oh, I've got to get in there. I've got to get that. I always fascinated by that.
Yeah, absolutely. And also too, much respect too, before we move on to the next pick. I'm assuming it's New or Noose.
He goes by Intel.
Oh, just Intel. All right. We appreciate you, Intel, dropping a $50 bomb in the chat room.
Well, that's his second one of the night. That's his second one right there. So we've been talking about Michael Mayer, so we haven't had a chance to shout him out. But yeah, so he donated $50 and then said, hey, let's throw in some more, man. Another $50.
That's awesome.
So total $100 donation from Intel.
That's amazing.
So much respect, and you guys are still playing for this signed Max Crosby AFL jersey right there. Unbelievable, man. Get in the mix, man. Every $10 donation gets you into the mix.
Awesome, man. That is awesome. We appreciate you very, very much. Our buddy Graphic Raiders in there. OLV Raider Network. Shout out, Graph.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody that is in the chat room tonight. Let's see who else we got in there. We got Ray Love is in there. John Ogle is in there. Sean Johnson. The good stuff is in there. Says FOMO.
That's
Fear of missing out.
Is.
That's what it is.
FOMO.
Yep. That's what you're thinking of. Absolutely. Wyoming Raider. Says Swaggy, are you gonna have enough chips for tonight?
Man,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
And you know what? And hey, and I want to give respect to Intel again right there because he says if I win it, keep it and raffle it off again.
Oh,
That's
no way.
too
So
cool.
No way. I've never rooted for anybody to win before until just now. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I'll say this, man. If you do win and you win the jersey, whatever, we're gonna hook you up with
You'll
some
get
stuff.
stuff.
We're gonna,
You'll get
regardless. You'll get a Raiders fan radio gift pack.
Respect,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Respect.
That's awesome, man.
And then Byron, and then
Stacey
Stacey Ruff comes in. Says Byron Young was second to Jalen Carter in QB pressures, which we're going to talk about here in just a moment.
yeah.
Like
He said he doesn't have image issues. And what size is that jersey? $50 donation to the One Nation Foundation.
Dang, y'all are bringing it tonight, man.
That's incredible.
This is amazing. Thank you all very, very much. And of course, 100% of your money goes to the One Nation Foundation and supports the Bolitnikoff Foundation and Tracy's Place of Hope. So amazing. So Stacey Ruff, Shane Tolbert, let's see, Sona Rivers in there. Raider Paul says salute. Intel, man, that is I mean, I can't tell you. That's
so generous. Yeah.
damn kind. That is so kind. We cannot thank you enough for that, brother. All right, and Stacey Ruff too in there. Hey, what is it, Jameson's? Is that like
Jameson? Oh yeah.
Yes.
Right.
That old Irish whiskey, man. Shit'll get you.
The boy will it. Hey, okay, so Ebony asked Grumpy, Paul, Ty, Michelle, Swag, Murph, serious question. What does it mean when I can't tell you a single person the Broncos drafted? Now I know I remember every Raider pick. Ebony, that means you're a Raiders fan.
Tells you everything you need to know.
Send me your Denver card, and I'll draw the Raiders emblem on top of it and send it back to you.
Let's
That's
go,
what
Michelle.
that means.
Amen. That's what Paul just said there too. It means you're a Raider, Ebony.
That's official right there.
Well,
yeah.
and you know what? And here's the thing about the Broncos too. They sold their souls for Russell Wilson.
They
That's
did.
why you don't know who they picked because they didn't pick until like the fourth round or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. So,
but you know, they did get a couple guys that we liked though. They got Drew Sanders, the linebacker out of Arkansas,
which is why we don't get married to players.
Yeah, they got who's the cat out of was it Iowa or was it Iowa? The corner?
Dalton.
Little white boy.
Yeah.
Little white boy.
It's too bad they're not going to perform like y'all thought they were, though. That's too bad.
They're going to be terrible. Is it Dalton Good? I think it's Dalton Good.
It doesn't matter.
I
hate that guy.
It doesn't
It
matter.
just doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I hate that guy.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
That's right.
All right, next up. Let's. Stacey Ruff, I believe it was, mentioned Byron Young. So let's talk about Byron Young, defensive tackle, is out of Alabama. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Out of Alabama.
Is, yeah.
And so let's listen to him get the call and then throw it over to Michelle and tell us a little bit about this young man.
Byron, welcome to Raider Nation, man. Yeah, we're excited for you to eat some space, defeat some blocks, beat up the middle of the pocket a little bit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, you're coming to a place with, Raider Nation, incredible fan base, incredible facilities, best facilities in the league that, allow you to utilize your skill set, and just a bunch of good dudes on the defensive line, from Max to Chandler, and some veterans inside with Adam Butler, John Jenkins, Bilal Nichols. I mean, you're going to learn from a good group. We're excited to have you, and we're going to have you tear this thing up for us.
Yes, sir. I can't wait to get up there.
Yeah, all right, buddy. Well, hey, you enjoy the moment, man. You earned it. This is a special thing. So you and your family enjoy this moment. We'll be in touch real soon.
I'm going to Vegas.
Love it. I love it. It's always the little brother. It's always the little brother.
Right.
Providing the let's goes and the yes sirs.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I love how Ziegler starts that thing off. He says, "We need you to eat some space."
Absolutely. Hey, there you go. Well, you know what? And I love that call out. I love that call out that Stacey Ruff made about that. I mean, that like Byron Young, we get him in what the third round, towards the end of the third round, right? And his stats are not much different than Jalen Carter. Like, I mean, what a freaking steal! Like, that's the way I look at that. And I'm really excited about this guy. I mean, we always talked about the previous regime going out and getting champions, right? Getting guys that know how to win. Well, Byron Young is an Alabama guy that knows how to freaking win football games. So get you some of that. I love it.
Yeah, so one of the things that the first thing I noticed was they called him slightly undersized. So does that mean muscle or does that mean height? I don't know what, because like muscle, I feel like you can build your height.
I mean, technically,
your
Aaron
size,
Donald is undersized at defensive tackle too. So was John Randall, and you know what I mean. Like it just, yeah.
He had 47 tackles, 3.5 sacks as a senior, 9 quarterback hits, which was the most by an SEC interior D lineman. So he whether he's undersized or not, I still feel like a lot of times too that gives you that chip where you come out and you're just a little bit tougher than people thought you were going to be. So
Absolutely,
I like that. Yeah.
Absolutely, you know, and there are, and so the Raiders did draft some undersized players and some players that would be considered slower when we look at like a Christopher Smith who was drafted later, and we're going to talk about him in a minute. But yeah, I mean, but I think that you can't measure heart, and that's what I've always felt like. You can't measure someone's dog. You can't measure like those kinds of things. Like there's, you know, when you look at like, I don't know, like just going back a little bit, look at a player like Darren Sproles. You talk about undersized, this guy was like 5'6". You know what I mean? But had a highly productive career and was an amazing football player that was undersized. We talk about on the defensive line. Technically, Aaron Donald. You look at like a Sam Mills, who was in the Hall of Fame as a middle linebacker for the Panthers and also the Saints. An undersized guy. So,
didn't also Max Crosby kind of had like he put on a lot of I think he had the fight, and that's what really made him the crazy player that he is. It's really more the mindset that he had. I mean, obviously he's got the physical prowess but he built that. Like,
and
I really feel like
he had to add bulk.
Yes,
he had to add bulk.
Right.
He was quote undersized for his frame coming in. Especially coming out of a smaller school. So that was definitely a knock against him. And that's always the thing against the group of 5 guys. The non-power 5 schools or smaller programs. That's always the knock against them, is that either they're I take that back. It's either undersized in big programs or it's, size and frame and productivity, but you only did it against, group of 5 schools. Right. So that's the knock. Daniel Menges says, "Hey Murph, how about the Warriors putting the Kings to bed?" Absolutely. Go Dubs. Although we we caught a run late against the Lakers last night, but couldn't put it away. So we need to get that thing figured out. But anyways, but appreciate you, Daniel Menges, who says,
and respect to Graf, who's still mourning the loss of his Kings, right? Fly high Kings.
Hey.
Fly high Kings.
Hey, all you gotta say is light the beam. Sorry, Graf. That was a little rough. I love you.
Foxy06 said, "Easy guys. Amik Robertson has heart and gets burnt every time it matters. The thing about him is he's short. Like you can't get taller. Like you can add bulk. Like that's the difference, right?"
Well, but Amik shouldn't be playing on the outside. The reason Amik was playing on the outside was because of injury and lack of production. When Amik plays inside and plays the slot, he's fine. Like, so I don't think that I'm not sure I would be willing to say that he gets burnt a lot. Yes, he has on the outside, and there was plenty of plays that were the ball was 2 inches away from his fingers, and if he were 2 inches taller, then he's making that play. So I get your point, but I don't think that he was in the position that he is intended for when he was playing last season. I see Amik as one of those guys. I think he's a dog. So that's what Intel just said.
Like him,
He says he doesn't see him making the squad this year. Intel does. I mean, we got depth now, so it's going to be interesting. Amik could be facing the end of the roster, if not P squad, if they don't move on from. So that's a great point. Where even despite even though I'm kind of a fan of the guy, now we're starting to round out some positions there in the secondary.
And that's what you want, right? You want guys that are dogs. You want guys that are tough. You want guys that have started in the past to like be on those bubble things, because that means your team is improved,
getting
right?
Better, Your depth is improving.
We're getting better, right?
Yeah.
So
we used to pick
There's
up
competition there.
We used to pick up people off other teams' practice squads.
Absolutely.
Now we're kind of shedding that, building our team, and that's true. Now we got some depth there. So
yeah.
All right. So here's the controversial pick.
Okay.
All right, here's the one. So speaking of undersized guys, speaking of small conferences, although this guy is fast as they come, I don't know if I agree with a certain contingent of Raider Nation that says we just drafted the next Tyreek Hill. I don't know if I'm willing to go there yet, but this young man has a lot of skills when it comes to locating the ball. I wouldn't even call him, I like to, instead of calling him Tyreek Hill, I like to call him Cliff Branch, because Cliff Branch was Cliff Branch. He was Tyreek Hill before Tyreek Hill was Tyreek Hill. Cliff Branch was the original fast, small guy that could adjust to the football, go up and get it, outplay his frame and his size. So that's what the Raiders are hoping that they get out of Trey Tucker, out of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And so anyways, we'll see. TBD, but a lot of people are. It's funny. This was the most polarizing pick. You had this one contingent of Raider Nation that was like, oh my gosh, this guy's going to be amazing. Here's why. And then you had probably a larger majority of Raider Nation going like, what the F are we doing here?
Okay, go ahead.
So let me go ahead and play. Trey Tucker gets the call. Then I want to hear from Michelle on what your stats are on him, and then over to Swaggo.
Trey, we're pumped, man. You're going to bring an element of speed and explosiveness and being able to play as a receiver in the return game. We saw those gunner reps too. Very versatile skill set to come in here and, impact our team and add another explosive weapon to our team, man. So also with great character. You know what I mean? And so there's the types of guys we're looking for, guys that are hungry, passionate about football, and want to get better. And we couldn't be any more excited to get you, man.
What you think, Michelle?
Okay, so the thing that I saw and as we get lower, I didn't dig as deeper. So, but Speedy was the thing that just kept coming up, and I think that's probably what blinded a lot of people, where they were like, "Oh, he's fast, get him." But so he ran a 4.440, 10.4 broad jump, caught 52 passes for 652 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he returned 2 kicks for scores. So I mean, it's there, but also, I mean, don't we have a lot of wide receivers? I don't know. I just feel like we're really kind of stacked there, no?
Yeah, that was why it was a surprise to me. It was because we have a lot of wide receivers. Right. I think this guy's look. If anything, we haven't had anybody to contribute significantly in special teams since Jacoby Ford. Oof. Before that, it was probably Johnny Lee Higgins. It's been a long time since we had somebody returning kicks, because I don't like Hunter Renfrow returning kicks. I barely like him returning punts.
Same.
Is that too early, Swag Jeff, for the Raiders? And I know that it was kind of the middle draft, but still, like, I think, was that too soon to get somebody that's going to play majority of special teams?
I don't think so, because I don't think he's going to play a majority of special teams. I think we're going to see, and I think Ray Love in the chat says all those trick plays that McDaniels was trying to run last year. I think that's where you're going to see a lot of this Trey Tucker,
like a jet sweepy kind of stuff and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I really think that we're going to see a lot of him in that. But no, I mean, I think this was a really controversial pick because everyone wanted us to go Ringo, right? The corner out of
including the 3 guys in the can cave watching
all of us that said that was probably where they needed to go. But Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler saw something different. So they had a good draft up to this point, and they had a great draft after. So I could just assume that they know what they're doing, and they know they have a role that needs to be filled, and they're going to fill it. So even if that is just, let's make sure Hunter Renfrow isn't returning any sort of kicks anymore. Let's get another guy back there that knows what he's doing. He's short, he's fast, he's all that stuff. He can slip through. So I love the pick.
Maybe
I'm about it.
Being going to be moved eventually.
Wow.
That's
true too.
That's true too. Been on the. We've been hearing that for so long.
And Ansel said the same thing. You may be a replacement for him too. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Which and Jacoby Myers can play there too, because you think about it, we got 3 and/or 4 guys that can kind of play in the slot right now. So that wouldn't be surprising. All right. So speaking of fast guys, how about 4.3 speed as we take Jacorian Bennett, and we don't have any more get the calls anymore. So we're just going to talk about them as players. But Jacorian Bennett. Cornerback out of Maryland. So finally we go cornerback. Felt late in the draft, frankly. I mean, a lot of us were thinking, of course, Witherspoon was gone before we had a chance to pick, and Christian Gonzalez we passed on. But there was certainly a lot of talk about us going corner early on. And so then to roll down that many rounds later before we got our guy. But I think, again, the general consensus around this pick, around Jacorian Bennett, is that, he's got the speed to keep up on the outside. Look, the Raiders, we've said numerous times on this show, the Raiders need to build to beat the Chiefs.
Yep.
How do you beat the Chiefs? You got to run with the Chiefs. That's one of the things. Like, you got to get after Patrick Mahomes. There's a lot of things you got to do. You got to get after Patrick Mahomes, but you got to be able to run on the outside. How many times have we seen Patrick Mahomes extend plays and our DBs get burned because they can't keep up, because they're not as fast as Tyreek Hill or Mecole Hardman or Byron Pringle or any of those guys? Now we've got a guy, at least one, that we see that can keep up on the outside. So I think it's a quality pick for the Raiders, Michelle. I really like the Ja'Cory Bennett pick out of Maryland because I think it's a good fit.
No, I agree. And so one of the things that I found was he led the country with 27 pass deflections over 2 seasons. He had 5 interceptions, and that he can fill multiple needs. Like, he doesn't just play in one. Like, he's not just stuck doing one thing. Like, he's versatile. He's more
Which
versatile.
is that's all we hear from this coaching staff, right? Is that we want versatile players.
Yes,
Because like Jeff, like they told us, a lot this offseason, we've heard him say that, like, why would we draft a guy that's necessarily a specialist and can only do one thing? We want guys that can do 2 or 3 things, a la Tyree Wilson, can play inside, can play outside. Like, now you can fill 2 different roles. And like Michelle said, this guy can kick inside, just like Nate Hobbs, frankly.
Oh, right.
Now he's probably a little better on the outside than Hobbs is. Hobbs is, I think, talent set is better fit for the slot. But if he can go in, great. Like, if you could got 2 guys that can do 2 things, like, that's a great thing for us.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I think when you bring in folks and you have guys in your locker room that can do multiple things, it frees up a spot on your roster for someone else that can also contribute in another way. Yeah. When you bring a guy like Ja'Cory Bennett in here that can play a bunch of positions, maybe we let go of a corner. Maybe we move a Meek to the practice squad or something like that. Just something, and then we can keep an extra wide receiver or an extra tight end or an extra O lineman or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
or an extra quarterback.
Or an extra quarterback. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, it just gives you that, leverage to say, okay, well, now we can have an extra guy because this guy can do a bunch of stuff.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So next up, that takes us back to the offensive side of the ball. And we only had the 3 offensive picks. Okay. Starting off with Michael Mayer, of course, then Trey Tucker, and then Aiden O'Connell. So we have the quarterback out of Purdue, which, our buddy Stu, our new buddy Stu, and of course, great friend of Graphic Raider, Stuart Schweigert, obviously has the inside scoop on Aiden O'Connell, and I think they're even going to have him on their show soon. Wouldn't surprise me if they did. And so I got a couple feelings on this. I think that I got a lot of things, actually, maybe. I don't think this is like us drafting the next gen of quarterback. I believe that I know you guys hate to hear it, but let's talk about the freaking Patriot stuff, okay? The Patriot way is not only amongst all the different things that they do. One of the things that they do is they will draft quarterbacks in later rounds, develop them, and then trade them away to capitalize on the investment that they made in order to raise more draft capital. To give you an example, Matt Castle, Jimmy Garoppolo, even Ryan Mallett was one, okay? They will draft a quarterback, develop him, and then trade him away for more than it took for them to acquire him in a draft. It's a long-term investment play. I believe that this Aiden O'Connell pick is that type of a move, because Jimmy's going to be our quarterback for at a minimum of 2 years. This young man can come in and compete with Chase Garbers and can develop. He's not I've heard a lot of people criticize him for not being incredibly mobile and incredible. Like, he can extend a pocket. He's still like, a good enough of an athlete to extend a pocket. He's going to take off and run even like Patrick Mahomes does. Like, Patrick Mahomes is not like a running quarterback, but he can move the pocket around. He can get out there. He's good enough to even more like, maybe not quite as good as Derek, but similar. Like, he can extend out. So he's not like just freaking feet of cement planted in the pocket and can't go anywhere. But he's an incredibly accurate passer. And what do we know about Josh McDaniels' system is that that's what they want. They want accuracy. They want timing. And I think they can develop this young man to be a successful backup quarterback. And if he completely exceeds their expectation, he might move into a starting role by the time Jimmy G moves on, or they trade him away at the peak of his freaking potential and get a 2nd round pick for him or something, and then elevate their draft capital as an investment. I think that's the kind of the concept of it. I'm sure the chat room's got a lot of different opinions, and I want to hear yours, because I'm not going to try to sit here and pretend to be right. But when I just kind of apply my logic brain to it, I think that's kind of what they're doing. What do you think, Michelle?
Yeah. So one of the things that I came across a lot was that he's not like very mobile. He doesn't do a lot of like extra stuff to it to make things happen. And I think like I wonder, and I don't think Josh McDaniels is like old and outdated or anything, but the way that the league's going, it feels like you need a quarterback that's gonna do all the things, like that's gonna run and extend plays and those kind of things. But I do think that finding a quarterback is a lot like finding a good pair of jeans. Like you have to try on a lot of pairs to figure out which ones really fit you good and which ones like maybe, well, you guys don't know. You guys are guys because you probably just go buy the same freaking pair of pants and they're like, yeah, these are great. Well, women, it's different. We have to try on all 45 pairs. And some stretch out through the day, and some don't ever stretch out, and it's a real pain in the ass. But anyway, literally pain in the ass. And so,
but that's a good point, though.
It feels like that. So you just have to keep trying, and it feels like this is that. And if he shows up and shows out, great. And if he doesn't, move him along, and then you try again. And that's kind of it's kind of what this feels like because he doesn't feel very exciting. I mean, 27 starts. Completed 66.7% of his passes, 9,219 yards, 65 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. So, I don't know. Okay.
On a Big Ten schedule? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are we going to do?
It's a late round quarterback,
That's
Jeff.
exactly what it is.
Yeah, well, and it's really cool that the Raiders have decided to have their thing be, to have the best looking quarterback in the league and the worst looking quarterback in the league.
You are not lying.
Because he ugly as hell, bro.
Ugly. He got a face made for radio.
Like, if he can throw the ball, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So as long as he can ball, I'm cool with it. But I thought that was so funny.
Say one of our group chats,
Jimmy Garoppolo's like, you better not get a quarterback that looks better than me. And they're like, we got you.
We're going to find the ugliest man on the planet.
So it's funny. So one of our group chats, because of course Jimmy was offered free, services, we'll just say, at the Bunny Ranch for the entire time he's in Vegas.
Yeah.
And one of the guys said,
Mojo.
Mojo said,
of course,
Mojo. Donald's been offered free handshakes at the Bunny Ranch for the entirety of his time in Vegas.
Just the handshake. That's all you need with him.
That's all you need. All right. So, okay. I mentioned earlier my second, or at least tied for second, favorite pick in this draft. And so, hang on, let me get to my notes here. And it was the guy taken after Aiden O'Connell, and that is safety Christopher Smith out of Georgia, dude.
Okay. Tell us why he's your second favorite.
Well, I like champions. I think that when you mentioned that about Alabama, I think that there's a DNA that gets applied when you're in a good program that's not just a flash, but like a lengthy, good program, a championship program like the Georgia Bulldogs have been of recent. I'm a fan of taking players like that. And I know that you could say that, well, Cleve Farrell was a champion for Clemson too, and that didn't work out. And I forget that Peter Boulware, was it? That linebacker that got drafted out of there. I know he didn't do real well, but Deshaun Watson certainly did. Hunter Renfrow certainly did. Like, what was the wide receiver? Sammy Watkins certainly did.
Sure.
Like, there's been a lot of good players out of that Clemson program that got drafted. Okay, that had lengthy careers. So I think that Christopher Smith is a good pick. And here's why I think so. Not only because of his pedigree as a champion, but this guy's got the stats. The only thing that held him back, I think he's 5'10", 5'11", so he's big enough to be a safety.
Sure.
He's slow. And slow, I use that air quotes for those of you on the audio podcast. He's slow. He ran like a 4.6 or something like that. Okay. So, but I'm a firm believer in game speed versus combine speed, man.
Truth.
Tape doesn't lie. Ball don't lie. And when you put up the kind of stats that this guy put up in college against the best of the best, against Alabama, against Tennessee, and I know that, when you look at the way that Georgia played against Tennessee this year, they beat the shit out of Tennessee.
Oh, totally.
It wasn't even close.
Totally.
Like, Georgia was on a completely different level this year in college football than every other team. When you're smoking Alabama, when you're smoking Tennessee, when you're smoking LSU, when you're having the kind of season that they did, listen, so when you take the players that had the strongest impacts on those games, I'm a fan, man.
Yeah.
So, here's his scouting report, okay? So I'm going to give you some of his strengths. he flashes some physicality as a hitter. That right there is the number one line on his scouting report, and like that's all we need to hear. Like, go figure. Give us a physical safety. Like, I love it. You could still, even in today's NFL, you can still be physical. Let's see. Where am I at? Oh, it's Jacorian Bennett. Let's see. So in 2021, as a senior, Smith saw in action 12 games while playing 597 snaps. He logged 30 tackles, 4 assists, and made 9 stops. This is in 2021. In coverage, he had 2 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, and surrendered an elite quarterback rating when targeted of 53.8.
Wow.
Oof.
But it gets better.
Okay.
Last year, in 2022, as a fifth-year senior, Smith saw action in 13 games while playing 699 snaps. That's basically all of Georgia's snaps. He logged 41 tackles, 10 assists, made 10 stops. In coverage, Smith had 4 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, and surrendered an elite QB rating of 50.6.
Wow.
Okay.
Like, let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
Come on. If they're able to set this young man up in a position where he can kind of sit back and play a little more center field, but then come up and play physical if he needs, like, I think this is an excellent match with Trayvon Merrick. Oh yeah, we still have Marcus Epps, and I know that some people are kind of on the fence about that.
No, I like that guy.
I think so too. Again, championship pedigree, like
There you
what,
go.
like you know. So let's and I don't think these are different types of championship pedigrees than like what Larry Brown was for the Cowboys, where he lucked into 2 interceptions and Al Davis went and got him, and he didn't do anything after that. Or even Desmond Howard. You can think of a lot of guys that had significant Super Bowl games and that became Raiders and then went, that's not what we're talking about with Marcus Epps. I think Marcus Epps can be a solid safety, especially when you talk about the rotation that we're in now. So Michael Mayer, Christopher Smith, those are my 1 and 1A for 2 completely different reasons, not just because they're on different sides of the ball, but I think one is a slam dunk just because you got the absolute amazing potential of one player that it was drafted in the perfect spot. And then this guy, he kind of like, again, I knew enough about Georgia football because I watch college football, and happens to be that Mom Berber, that she's a Georgia fan. So I've watched a lot of Georgia games this year. So shout out Vibrator. Yeah. But so I knew the guy could play, but like then after he got picked, like what we talk about a lot around here, after players get picked, that's when we dig in.
Right. Sure.
I don't dig into players pre-draft.
Right. Yeah.
After they get drafted, then I'm digging in. Dude is freaking awesome. There was one play where Georgia blocks a freaking kick, and the other team, they're kind of it was LSU. It was LSU. Georgia blocks the freaking kick. The ball is like bounces off to the side, doesn't go out of bounds, and is laying there. And the players start milling about, and he like walks over to the ball. And they're like thinking that they're just going to down it. And you can even see some of the players just being like, just get it. And he waits until they just start to turn. Just when the body language starts to change, he snatches the football up and runs 95 yards for a touchdown.
There you go.
Now we're talking.
That's what we're talking. That's the kind of guy that we want to have on the team, man. So anyways, I'm fired up for this one.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah. And like you said, I mean, the guy knows how to win. You know, I mean, when you draft a champion like that, especially this late in the draft, like, I mean, this shows how many teams are probably slaves to that combine. You know, the guys that they look at that and go, he had a bad pro day, he had a bad combine, whatever. This dude's a freaking beast, man. Like, he's legit, man. And for us to get him this late in the draft, man, like, holy cow, man. Like, I mean, even if we can just, give some of our other guys some competition and stuff, make everybody better. But no, I think this guy, this may be hook, line, and sinker for Trayvon Merrick if he doesn't watch out.
Oh,
You know
interesting. Well, Trayvon Merrick just had like a little bit of an off year. I think he's still going to be fine. So you got anything on Christopher Smith?
No.
Okay. Well, then shout out Michelle, shout out Hooligan Nation that's in there.
Oh, Hooligan Nation said the draft was awesome. The Queefs fans, not so much. Let's go Raider Nation with a $50 donation.
Hey. Thanks,
Hooligan.
Nation.
And you're right. You ain't lying.
Much respect.
And I'm just going to say this, and I've dropped it into the chat as well, but we are $50 away from a 4-figure night. So let's go, man. So get in the mix, man. Every $10 donation gets you one poker chip into the running to win this bad boy, this signed AFL
She's a
Max
beaut.
Crosby
She
jersey.
is.
So
The
so,
nation
man.
coming through for the nation.
That's
I
it.
love
That's
that.
it, man.
Y'all are awesome.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Man.
We can't, I always say this, like if we expressed our generosity to the level that we would want to, then this show would be nothing but us sitting around expressing our generosity. So just know that, Raider Nation, that is not lost on us. And we thank you guys very, very much for your willingness to support the One Nation Foundation and the Blitnikoff Foundation the way that you do. It is incredibly kind. All right, we are kind of turning a little bit late on time. Oh my gosh. And Pineapple, man, excited for the upcoming season with another $50
Heck yeah,
donation.
pineapple.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Amazing. Amazing.
Respect Pineapple.
That is so badass. Yeah, we're fired up too, brother. And thank you. Can't thank you enough for that money, that $50. And it's all going towards that Max Crosby jersey and the One Nation Foundation. I got a feeling we're gonna be giving away some T-shirts, some mugs tonight too. But anyways, the last two Raider picks. Of course, we had Amari Burney at linebacker. Who is that? What school is that? Florida, thank you. And then Nesta Jade Silvera at defensive tackle. He comes out of Arizona State, if I remember right.
You're right.
And so, so here's the kind of the tail of the tape is that if we were to if somebody were to tell us and not consider the
This one's for you,
That's funny.
Murph.
Yeah.
Can I get a hooyah?
Hooyah! And I know what you meant there, Ariel Zuniga. But
And he was the one that originally got you.
Oh, was he the one that
That was
originally
the
got
guy.
me? Yeah, okay, all right.
Ah, that's the best.
Oh my
I'll
gosh.
never forgive myself for not being here in person.
Oh my gosh,
for
that was
best
that was
moment
embarrassing.
in our
Incredible.
history.
That's right.
Never
I'll just say
forget
who? Yeah. Hoo-ah. So, anyways, Amari Burney and Nestor Jade Silvera. And so, when you look at if you were to, that's funny, Ariel. So, if you were to, if we were to have told you going into this draft, we were going to take a defensive end, a defensive tackle, a cornerback, a safety, a linebacker, and another defensive tackle. That's 7 players on defense. Everybody would have been fine. So any of the now, granted, I know that some people can get in their feelings a little bit about where some of these players were taken, but don't forget, Max Crosby was a 4th-round pick.
That's right.
Like, so we just don't know where
You
this
just
thing
don't
is going.
know. You won't know for a year or so, a couple of years, man. I mean, you just won't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
2 or 3
Ride it
years
out.
at a minimum.
Yeah.
So, but I think that, I think the overall consensus from Raider Nation and also the media is that this was a successful draft for the Raiders. At a minimum, it addressed some pretty significant positions for us and some deficiencies. And so, time will tell if they pan out. This definitely could be one of those drafts that could define Dave and Josh early on.
Totally.
Because I mean, last year, starting off in the 3rd round, Parham seems to be a good player. But you can't define. When you start picking in the 3rd round, you can't define their draft. But man, Raider Den, thank you so much. And,
Thank you, Raider Dan.
another $50.
Shoo.
Damn,
I want that jersey.
We ought to get more Max Crosby jerseys
stuff,
around there. Yeah. Appreciate you. And Ariel Zuniga, another $2 in there. I'm more excited for undrafted free agents.
Oh.
I'm glad you asked.
yes.
So thank you for that couple dollars. Swaggo, I'm going to throw in 8 more. Give him another poker chip, please.
Okay.
And Raider Den, thank you for that $50, man. That is amazingly kind of you. We appreciate you so very, very much. Speaking of undrafted free agents, before we get into the Sea of Fans mailbag, where we hear from you, because more of you and less of us is a good thing, Michelle, tell us about some of the undrafted free agents that we have in the building.
So Drake Thomas, linebacker out of North Carolina State. The thing that I saw that they said about him was that he lacked size, but PFF graded him the 4th highest graded LB against the run at 90.7.
Huge.
He was tied for 4th among ACC linebackers with 11.5% run stop rate. He's effective in zone, but he struggled in man, especially against tight ends. So that's kind of the nutshell of what I found out about him.
So don't put him on Travis
So
Kelce.
don't put, please, Lord, don't. If y'all don't want me cussing up a storm, don't do that. But yeah, 4th highest graded linebacker against the run, 90.7.
Pretty solid.
That's
It's pretty solid. Yeah, I'm with you. And we had a whole slew of undrafted free agents in there. And so we won't go over each one of them. You guys can check that stuff out for yourself. And we'll talk more and more about those guys as we go along. And especially as training camp, that's when you really start to see, these things unfold, and you kind of start to see who's got the talent jumping out. Hey, and one last thing too. I'm going to say this, and then we're going to get it. Mike Mayock was on with Chris Long on his podcast this past week, and Ron the Materator turned us onto that and was like, hey, check this thing out. I watched it the other night, and there wasn't, a lot of it wasn't overly revelatory to me. There was a lot of the things that we knew that, like, we knew John Gruden had the ultimate say in the drafts. He kind of owned the Cleve Farrell pick. He really but he also owned the Max Crosby and Hunter Renfrow pick. You know what I mean? So it was a really good draft or podcast there. But one of my favorite part of it, the most revealing part of it to me, was talking about these later round guys and how you can start to see early on in training camp how good they're going to be. He was talking about how Hunter Renfrow going up against LaMarcus Joyner, remember, who was a great slot cover guy, that was safety that we signed from the Super Bowl winning Rams. He would go up against Renfrow and just freaking own him. He owned him like 3 practices in a row. And there was a lot of hooting and hollering, a lot of things going on. The team rallying around LaMarcus and just this domination that he had over Hunter Renfrow. But slowly, Hunter started to get him. And by the time they got to this one practice, all of a sudden, Hunter was doing Hunter Renfrow things, put LaMarcus Joyner in a blender, and freaking owned him. And like the whole freaking team went nuts. And LaMarcus Joyner got pissed off. And they lined up again, and Hunter did it to him again. And then he wanted him again, and Hunter did it to him again.
Wow.
It was like he just started beating him over and over and over again. And like, that's the kind of stuff with these lower round guys. We'll know whether they're, because it's not about even like necessarily like beating a vet. It's about improvement. Like, how quick are they going to improve, whether these undrafted free agents or the late round guys? And so anyways, we're going to keep an eye on that stuff as we go forward. And yeah, hopefully we got some good stuff coming up there for the Raiders this now soon to be off season. Hey, gosh, I'm tired of talking.
Oh my gosh. No kidding.
Let's hear from them.
Okay.
Fading, looking. He's under the gun. He's caught. He throws. It is.
All right, so here's where we hear from more of you and less of us, because that is a great thing. And you can contact us a multitude of ways. You can call us at 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. Or you can email us.
Okay.
Slow it down.
All right.
Get your pens, everybody.
Get a deep breath. You can email us at show.
Okay.
S H O W at RaidersFanRadio.com.
Perfect.
Okay, so email us at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. And if we read your email an indefinite amount of times, or if we play your voicemail 3 times on the show, you could become the next made man or made woman. That means you're in the inner circle, man. It means you got a seat at the table. We haven't read the made men and made women list in a while, but there's 40 of you, I believe.
There should be more than that.
Is there more than that?
There's more than
I don't
that.
remember. But yeah. But anyway, so Paul dropped his quill. You have to go back.
Ebony spelled it out for you.
Oh, thank you, Ebony. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, good looking out. So we appreciate you very much. But yes, email us, call us. We want to know your takes, man. We want to hear from you, because we really do. We want to know what you guys are thinking about, because not only do we get your stuff from the chat room, but we always love to hear from you live. So anyways, I'm going to shut up. And Michelle, who do we have this week for the emails?
All right. We got Matthew Mangus first. Hello, RFR family. Happy draft week. The Raiders draft 2 CBs in this draft, 1 today and 1 tomorrow. I'm thrilled with the first round because we need a defensive end opposite Max. I'm hoping we will take Gonzalez, but I'm happy with the pick. Now, my dream senior is Joey Porter in the second round. I believe Ziegler needs to build up the secondary because Charles Woodson or my all-time favorite Raider, Nnamdi it gets me
Asamoah.
every time. There you go. Thank you.
Think about
Asamoah.
There you go.
Okay. Isn't unretiring to play CB for the Raiders anytime soon, and we need to build around Nate Hobbs and Amik Robertson. That's all for this twin. Stay safe, Raider fam. Yours truly, Matthew Mangus, proud made man, reigning, defending, 2-time WWE RFR Gemini Man Tag Team Champion.
Hey, nice job. Nice job.
Matthew Mangus there. All right.
Thank you, Matthew.
We got Raider Shank, who I don't think we've heard from him in a while.
No.
So here we go. Oh, here we go. Guess who's back? Hello, RFR Nation. The one, the only Raider Shank has returned. I know you all have missed me, and after taking a long break from this dumpster fire of a team, I feel like I am mentally stable enough to return to the world of the Raiders. So here we go.
Okay.
Man, I feel that. So what has changed since I've been gone? Well, Carr has finally left and gone to the Saints. Insert crying sound. Not to bash Jimmy G, but compared to a quarterback that has an average arm and shits his pants every time he's under pressure, I feel like I prefer Carr over this very mid quarterback. Also, Waller has gone to the Giants. Honestly, I would have been more disappointed last offseason if it had happened then. After 2 back-to-back seasons of not reaching 1,000 yards, I feel like it was time for him to have a change of scenery, so I don't mind. JJ28 has been franchise tagged. I swear if these clowns in the front office don't give this guy the money that he deserves, I will grab a photo of Josh McDaniels, stomp on it, get a dog to shit and piss on it, throw it in the mud, and then set it on fire. Then I would spit on the remnants of it as well.
Wow.
Tell us how you really feel.
No kidding.
Wow.
Not to over-exaggerate, but I just want to keep him around longer. I know we have Zamir White, but if Jacobs craps the bed next season, then I wouldn't mind for him to go so White can take over. Adams is still godly. Mad Max can still terrorize opposing quarterbacks, and Hunter Renfrow still has one more season to prove that his breakout season wasn't a fluke. Oh, yeah, and Trent Sig left. No. All caps, lots of O's.
Just like Darth Vader.
Yeah. Why must he leave me after all these years? I will miss you, 47. That was in all caps, that whole sentence.
Aw.
Now,
That's our guy, man. We miss him
yeah,
too, man.
no, for real, yeah. Now let's talk about the draft. Now that we have a first-round pick, it'll be interesting to see who this front office takes. I wouldn't mind Jalen Carter, since he'll probably fall in the rankings a bit, but I would also probably take Christian Gonzalez, the CB out of Oregon. He's 6'1", 200 pounds, and he ran a 4.38 at the combine. He's the cornerback you would look for to deal with all the big, strong receivers like DK Metcalf. Although if he's available, but probably not, I would take Anthony Richardson, the QB out of Florida. Like Gonzalez, he's tall and fast, which is something you would look for in a QB. I watched some of his highlights, and he's got a really good long bomb. He would also be a really good draft day option. Although, if it came down to the two, I would definitely take Gonzalez. He's just someone that would fill a vital position in our defense and would make a pretty solid corner alongside Hobbs. That's all from me. I know you all have been dying of thirst from not hearing from my emails. Like, look at you. I can see you choking from the lack of water. Jeez, man.
Jeez.
But not to worry. I've given you all a big jug of water to sip from.
Oh, thanks.
So you're welcome. But all jokes aside, I've missed this family of Raiders fans, and you all have been amazing. So for that, I thank you. Take care, nation. Raider Shank. Proud made man, proud owner of a nickname that means to stab someone, second most Northern Raider fan, and currently looking for his first ever BRT Sizzler Award. P.S. I just turned 15 in January, which means I'm 1 year away before I can apply for my driver's license. Freedom, baby.
Oh, nice.
Well, good luck on that.
As the kids say.
As the kids say.
Yeah, literally everything in that
A lot of things
email.
in there was as the kids say. So I'm going to forward. Oh, you have it. You printed it. So
Yeah.
look at it. And now you'll have all the things the kids
So
say.
I'll know what
and
the
then
kids say?
for the next show, you can just start throwing them out there.
But
Like you knew.
Listen,
Like
but
you knew.
There's a lot of wisdom, though, that comes with age. And one of the things that the kids say, I don't agree with. So the kids
Oh,
say
yeah, well,
that Jimmy Garoppolo is no Derek Carr.
He did call
and
him mid.
He called him mid.
Which is something the kids say.
That is something the kids say. But you know what? You know something that the old men say? You're effing wrong. All right, so Patrick Mahomes, so according to another one of Advanced Age, one Kyle Brandt from Good Morning Football, sent out this tweet earlier today, and it was his quarterback tiers. And Grant, not tiers, T-E-A-R, like, meh, but like tiers, like ranking. And now listen, I know that freaking Kyle Brandt is not the be-all and end-all when it comes to quarterback evaluations, but here's something that I look at this at first glance, and it makes sense to me, okay? And Derek Carr is not on it. Number one, quarterback tier, God tier. It's Patrick Mahomes, the end.
Yeah.
There's one guy. Second tier, you got Joe Burrow and Josh Allen. Makes perfect sense.
end.
The end. Third tier, Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert. While we can't stand Justin Herbert, we think he's overrated, but I get it. It makes a lot of sense. Number 4, the one player I totally disagree with. He's got Russell Wilson on as a 4th tier. I know, because Russ is not Russ. At least certainly was last year. Doesn't deserve to be on the list, but he's got Deshaun Watson at number 4. At number 5, so 5th tier quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, all by himself. Makes perfect sense. Okay, after that, number 6, you got Pickett, Jones, Tagovailoa, and then, of course, Trevor Lawrence. 7, even though they're freaking rooks, he's got Stroud, Levis, and Richardson. Derek Carr, not on the freaking list.
I have to laugh because Battle Santa, he said Jimmy G is a 3rd all-time in passer rating, yards per attempt, and completion percentage, mid-quarterback, LOL. And then after I finished, he said, oh, it was a 15-year-old kid, can ignore all of that letter. So he's like, no, okay. But also, yeah, I mean, I think sometimes it's hard because Derek Carr was so close to us.
Derek Carr's his quarterback.
And so he's
Derek Carr's his
only
Kenny
knew
Stabler.
him. That's exactly what
You know
he
what I
is.
mean?
Yeah.
Right.
And he was always this close to being the guy we needed. And so I can totally get, like, I'll be 47 this year, and I even, for a very long time,
so Plunkett was probably
took up for that dude. You know, like I thought I really wanted Derek Carr to,
Oh,
you know
sure.
what I'm
Oh,
saying?
absolutely.
Like,
Oh,
so he
yeah.
was kind of mine for a while where I really rode for that dude. You know, I really wanted him. So I get it. Like these kids, that's all they knew. Like your daughter, like, I
Yeah.
mean, she cried
Well,
when
me.
he was good.
Me.
That's true. You
I've been a Raider fan for 5 years.
Swag, are you,
You know?
okay? I forgot. You are also this kid.
Okay, I'm wearing a Jimmy Garoppolo
I'm just
jersey.
playing, I'm
I'm
just
fine. I'm totally good.
Swag was like,
Because-
who?
because your
Carr?
hat says Raiders.
That's exactly right.
This is what I
That's
root
what
for.
matters.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
This over this.
Every time.
I still love this.
Every time.
But I love
yeah,
this.
But I love this more.
Yeah.
There
This
you
is
go.
this is it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Love you, Shank. You're
Well, yeah.
You're the coolest 15-year-old I know.
Ron the Mater says DC was his Winnie Cooper.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh, that's a great show.
That's a great show.
Ron,
Yeah.
you rule every time.
What,
I swear.
Well, never mind. Go ahead. I've talked enough.
And that's with
More of
age,
Michelle
you
and
know
less of you.
when to.
I know, I just
that's
stopped.
with age,
Yep,
you
yep,
know when to
yep.
stop. All right, we got John Ogle next. Hi RFR, another draft in the books, and as usual, the same reaction from fans. We landed some good picks, but people are still bitching. No, we shouldn't have taken Carter. As good as he may be, the character issues are too risky based on our recent draft results. We need safe. Maybe Gonzalez would have been a good pick at 7, but we got the top defensive end who will help take pressure off of Max. The upgrade at DE will help the rush and short yardage defense. Based on recent play, I think this provides more upside at this time. Some mocks had Wilson as a possible top 3 to 4 pick, so getting him at 7 is value. This could be Jones last year, so Wilson has a season to soak up his knowledge, and we finally have 3 DEs. Imagine the chaos when Tyree lines up on the same side as Max. A tackle and a TE can't stop them both. Man, that's going to be so exciting to see.
Yes.
Round 2, and we land Mayer, the top tight end in the top 1 to 2 tight ends in the draft, who was projected to go in the first. Immediate starter. Great move. The next couple picks could be iffy for value at the spots they were drafted, but in the end, we got a DT, CB, S, and LB to fill needs, as well as a backup QB. The speedy wide receiver seems like a typical Raider pick, but if he can improve our return game, then it's worth it. We will have to see about O'Connell. For those complaining that he isn't mobile, that's because McDaniels wants a pocket passer. Carr said last season he was told not to run. I'm no expert, but neither are most fans. More importantly, we don't work for the team, so our opinions don't matter. Don't crap on the moves until we see how they pan out. This isn't a one-year fix. Now on to that's the truth. Now on to another item from the weekend. What the hell is wrong with that asshat Travis Kelce? Well, how long do you have, John? How long? Spiking a Lombardi trophy, real or fake, at your Missouri inbred jam
that
fest.
was
That was
weird.
so
Yeah.
weird. What a weird thing to.
Yeah, that was weird.
He's a clown. At your Missouri inbred jam fest shows how much of a piece of crap you are, and the cheers from the Queef fans are right in line. The Lombardi is the goal of every football player and should be honored and respected, not made a mockery. I don't believe in karma, but this sure deserves some. F the Chiefs, John Ogle.
Yeah.
Man, he's not kidding.
Good point, John
What
Ogle.
a weird thing to do.
It was.
Why would you do that?
That's at a minimum. That was weird.
To me, that he put himself above the Lombardi, which no, you're not above that. Like that.
Yeah, because like
that was so weird.
That was so weird. So like like when Tom Brady, when they were doing the parade, their Super Bowl parade on their boats,
yeah, and he
freaking threw the real Lombardi trophy, over to the other side. I think it was Gronk that caught it. That was kind of like, it's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Like that was, to me, that was kind of like a badass move. It was just like
well, and he knew Gronk was going to catch it. You know,
that's what I mean. There's a lot of levels to it. Like,
right.
and he's Tom Brady. You're talking about Travis Kelce, and then like what they were doing was like a finesse move.
Yeah,
he spikes the Lombardi and broke it. That's
what a disrespect.
I don't get that.
Very disrespectful. I didn't get that either. And I mean, even as I can't fathom to put myself in the Chiefs fans' brain. I couldn't even fathom to do that. But if I was, that would be so disrespectful. It feels disrespectful.
Yeah.
Any football fan, I think, would think, what's that? Like, what?
Yeah.
Like the Stanley Cup, but winners, like they're drinking beer out of it. They're like, you know what I mean? Like they do fun things with the trophy.
Yeah.
This wasn't
you don't
fun.
break it.
No,
Yeah.
that's
break
stupid.
it.
No, that was stupid. You know, I mean, he took he chugged a beer off of it first or whatever,
Yeah,
which I'm like,
that's
okay,
fine.
Okay,
like,
sure,
okay,
yeah.
I get it, but then he spikes it and stuff. But I saw another video during that parade that they had in Kansas City, and like so, Patrick Mahomes is walking through the crowd or whatever, and like some guy walks up and like gives him the trophy for him to hold during the picture, and then Mahomes just like takes off and leaves the freaking trophy. So like these guys are just reckless with the championship.
And dude quickly turns around and passes it to his buddy.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, it's just it's absurd, man. It's crazy, but
dude.
you know, and I saw a tweet that Will Compton posted because
I did.
he posted
Yeah.
the video, right, and he said this could either solidify the Chiefs' run for a long time, or this could be the fall of the kingdom.
Road Code just said cursed.
Karma's coming.
Karma's coming.
Yeah.
It's a bitch, man, and it's coming for your ass, Kelsey. And yeah, I think you might have just.
There should be a reverence. I know that
That's what I'm
seems
with you.
like I'm not trying to
It's not about
sound,
idolatry or whatever, but
right,
yeah.
But there should be some sort of honor in getting that, like to spike it and break it.
Yeah,
Come on,
that was weird.
Boy, I hope karma comes quick.
Yeah, come.
I love
These
her.
guys can't suck soon enough, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
If anything brings it, that'll do it. That was just weird. That's
weird.
just a weird thing to do. There's to me nothing cool about that. That's like really weird.
Just
but
a
I
bunch
don't
of
like him,
bitches.
so yeah, he's a bitch. I'll say it to his face. Yeah. Travis Kelce. I'll your face too. Yeah.
Oh my god. We need
but seriously.
Josh in the 703. Man, F Travis Kelce.
Yeah, call in.
Here we go, ready?
Say it for me.
Man, Travis Kelce. Who we got next?
Okay, sorry. I was still relishing in that. We have Daniel Mangus next. Dear RFR.
Just bathing
Just
in
bathing
the F Travis
in the F
Kelce.
Travis. God, I can't stand that mother. Oh, you don't have the button. Okay. Dear... All right, here we go. Daniel Mangus. Dear RFR, what a week the NFL draft and the NBA playoffs. What more can a sports fan wish for? I have one message for the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento, acknowledge your I-80 champ, the Golden State Warriors. Okay, now on to the NFL draft, number 7. Tyree Wilson, grade A+. Wilson is a big boy. He's got an 88-inch wingspan that's bigger than Mad Max. This kid is going to be a beast. So congrats, Ziggler. I won't be finding you on the next UFC Live in Vegas. Overall, a solid draft for the Silver and Black. Loved the tight end pick in the second round. A baller in the run game and a pass catcher as an added bonus. Finally, I feel like we're heading in the right direction. Anyway, now comes the long drag to training camp and football season. Oh, and while I have your attention, I want to say something to Fisher and the athletics organization. Uh-oh, Murph doesn't have the button.
Yikes.
F-U-O-F-U-F-U, you lying bastards rooted in Oakland, my ass. Wow, tell us how you really feel.
No kidding.
Deep breath. Now I'm off to go look at housing in Vegas now that my second favorite team has moved there, so wish me luck. Just kidding, I'm going nowhere. 510 Bay Area forever. Yours truly, Daniel Mangus, proud made man, 2 times Gemini Man Award winner, Saltiest Loser Award winner, diehard Raiders, A's, Warriors fan. P.S. Warriors, it's time to own California. Beat L.A.
Nice.
That was Daniel Mangus. He's the foul-mouthed Mangus. My long-lost cousin.
I feel like both of them have
They
kind of
have
become.
come, yeah.
Ever since you came on the show. Whenever you came on the show, they both became the foul-mouthed Mangus.
Stamp that it was okay. Let it out, Manguses. Tell us how you really feel.
Validated them.
I validated them, and they just ran with it. But I needed the button for that one. That was, woo. But I did it. All right, we got Paul. Paul next.
Paul?
Evening, everybody. I hope you're all well. So the lights have been turned off on another draft, and the conversations around Raider Nation have begun as to whether or not we have been successful. From my point of view, I think this has been potentially one of the best in years. Of course, only time will tell if that's the case, but as of right now, I'm very happy with it. I wish we hadn't waited as long for a linebacker. That didn't do my health any good at all, and I was starting to grind my teeth a little, but I'm good with it. We largely hit on value and scheme fit, and we picked up a player for each position of need, 2 at defensive tackle. There were players that we could have picked up during the early rounds, Jalen Carter, etc., but as much as I think I know about the game, I'm fairly confident that Dave Ziegler and his staff know more than me, so I'm good.
Nuh-uh.
Shut up. All I see is that we've hit on all the areas of concern that we've been discussing over recent weeks, so let's give them time to prove themselves. Tyree Wilson, Jacorian Bennett, and Christopher Smith are my favorite picks, and I'm excited about Michael Mayer, who looks like a steal. Also, Amari Burney, who I confess on Twitter as to know nothing about. Then a Florida Gators fan informed me that he was a Swiss Army knife of a linebacker, so that's good enough for me. I even saw over on Brother Wasted Talent show that Max Crosby and Tyree Wilson were called Howie Long and Lyle Alzado 2.0.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, please.
Yeah, right? Love that.
I said in a recent email that I wanted to see smash mouth football and a queue forming outside the opposition blue tent. Well, something tells me when we've taken a huge step towards seeing that, and if Max and Tyree become half as good as Howie and Lyle, I'm looking forward to seeing it. We've signed some impressive-looking UDFAs now as well, including Dalton Wagner, who could play on the right side of our O-line on his own. 6'9" and 331 pounds, that guy has been eating his beef, which is good because it puts pride in your body. Okay? Yes, it does. Now, love it. Now we can look to free agency signings to fill any gaps that are left. For
Yes.
This is the story of what you're made of. Beef gives strength. It helps you through
Come on, sing it.
It helps you through it.
Beef in a balanced diet is one of the best sources of protein, iron, and B vitamins going for a whole new pride in strength.
Beef gives strength. I'll keep you going. Beef gives strength from inside. Beef puts pride in a body.
That's the worst one.
It's the best one. It
Pride in your body?
It puts pride in your body.
We need to reach out to Beef and see if they'll sponsor us.
Sponsor us.
Get on the show.
Raiders Fan Radio sponsored by Beef.
You know what? We don't even have to ask them. We're just
We're
gonna
just gonna
be
do it, yeah. We're just gonna-
sponsored by them.
That's the like I don't know why, like when you talk about things going in your body.
Beef
like
is,
that's so gross.
I
That's
don't
so
want
yucky,
Beef
man.
putting pride in my
I don't
body.
want
like
anyone
that
putting
is.
anything on my body.
Well.
Oh.
Okay. Speak for yourself, Jeff. I wasn't done. What are you doing?
Okay, well then keep
You're
going
trying to
then.
shut me up.
No.
She said, speak for yourself, Jeff. Jesus.
I am speaking for I'm not speaking for your ass. I promise you that.
Oh no! Oh,
Come get your girl, Lamont.
I have
Come get your girl,
lost-
Lamont.
He might. He might.
Oh my
I just took a cue from Ebony just then. I don't know what happened. It's the beef. It's the beef. It was
the beef in you, man.
It was. I got too much pride in me. It was just too much.
Hey.
We don't need to know your life.
Okay, Paul. I'm sorry. Oh, wow. Well, actually, you know what, Paul? That's your fault. You said this
Damn it,
guy's been
Paul.
eating beef, which is good because it puts pride in your body.
There we go.
Now we can look to free agency signings to fill any gaps that are left. For example, Mo Moton has been saying for a long time now that we should try and get Patrick Queen from the Ravens. That would be an awesome addition. A quality player with a point to prove. Bring it on. I'll finish this week with an overview of the draft weekend as a whole. How did Kansas City do? At this point, you'd expect me to launch into a tirade of abuse aimed at Chiefs fans and Kansas City in general. And you'd be right. I don't know what the collective term is for such a large collection of morons. I have got a word in mind, but I won't go there. It looked like a film set for a remake of Deliverance. And just when you thought you couldn't hate Travis Kelce anymore, a video appeared of him spiking a Lombardi trophy onto a stage to confirm to the world that his parents wished they'd thought longer about contraception. The best drafts I've seen in recent years would be New York, Nashville, and Vegas. So why not just put them on a rotation and be done with it? You can't have these drooling, knuckle-dragging chemical experiments on primetime TV. Think about the children.
Yeah.
Please. Be positive, everybody. This has been a good weekend. The future is bright. The future is silver and black. Stay safe, RFR family. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Edgerton, Shropshire, Mississippi. Polly Award winner 2019 and 2022. Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020. BRT Sizzler scorekeeper. Proud made man. Five-time times two. Winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award.
Nice job, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. Ron asked if he should have been moderating.
Absolutely, he should be.
Paul.
He's too.
Oh my gosh, that was funny.
Paul.
Speak for yourself, Jeff.
Did you ever speak for me? When it comes to beef and pride.
Paul, your name Paul.
You and Vibrator, man.
I know. Valerie's in on that too. Yeah.
And you know Ebony's in on
Oh,
it.
she's absolutely.
My favorite was when you said, was it last show? And you said, "I wish I loved something. I wish I loved anything as much as Ebony loves Tyrone's pride."
Exactly, man. That shit's for real.
Gosh, all right,
for real.
T-shirt.
All right, okay, all right.
Oh,
So here.
goodness, okay.
All right, let's reset here real quick before we get into the voicemails.
Yeah.
I just want to remind everybody about our current partner when it comes to advertising. Our newest partner.
Yes.
We have an awesome limited time promo for you guys, and that's for DraftKings. So we've got a promo going on. Register only for new users. If you register and you place just a $5 wager, it only costs you $5, and you use promo code RFR. Use promo code RFR on any sport, and you instantly get $150 added to your bonus bets. Win or lose, doesn't matter. All you got to do is use that code promo RFR to sign up. It's a great way to support our pod. 100% of the money that we get is going to go to the One Nation Foundation, and we've got a relatively short trial with the DraftKings folks, so we really need everybody to come through, man. Just get on there, sign up for the thing, spend $5, and hopefully the DraftKings folks not only will continue to re-up with us, but they can maybe be a partner for us in the foundation.
Absolutely.
So definitely get out there, use that code, promo code RFR, only for new bets.
Absolutely. And if you want to help right now for the One Nation Foundation as well, before we jump into the voicemails, we are still in play for this signed AFL Max Crosby jersey.
She's a beauty.
Yeah, man. Every $10 donation gets you one poker chip into the running to win this bad boy. Let's raise $80 before the end of the night.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do that. I challenge you, Raider Nation. Let's raise $80 before the end of the night.
All right, $80. All right, so here we go. We got 3 voicemails to get to tonight. We're going to start off with our good buddy. He calls himself the northernmost Raider fan, but also one of our good buddies that is out there on the West Coast. We've talked about him a lot tonight. He's been in the chat room. He's Title Raider. This is a collab. A live collab between 2 of our listeners.
No kidding.
So we've got the northernmost Raider fan, Kiljadis, headed down and hung out with our buddy Title Raider in Sacramento.
Wow.
And they got a freaking collab voicemail. This is really cool.
Oh, nice.
I hope this squeeze burger is as good as you said it was.
Well, I figured you'd want to stop by Sacramento and check out the sites that my wife and I had while we were here.
Who's this guy we're supposed to meet?
Well, he's a fellow RFR listener and a big fan of yours. In fact, there he is now.
Yo, what's going on, man?
And who are you?
Champ! Sorry, Raider Savage gets really grumpy when he's all banged up after matches.
Don't you point the finger at me when it comes to grumpy Giljadas.
No problem, man. Hey, I'm Ty, also known as Ty the Raider, the California Dominico sandwich connoisseur. I'm a huge fan, champ.
Well, it's great to see you again.
Same to you. Hopefully we can get some studs in this draft this year.
Oh, yeah, that's coming up. Where is it again?
You idiot. It's in that cesspool of a city that we all hate.
Seattle.
Even worse, Kansas City. The city of my mother's, my sister.
Ooh, I like that. You know what? Kansas City reminds me of that person, that little kid that's jumping up and down saying, hey, look, I'm a big city, but no one cares.
Ha! All right, I got one. So apparently the transportation in Kansas City is so messed up that you might as well go ahead and get on the bus, pay the bus driver. The bus driver will shut the door, open up again, and then say, get out.
Home of Jamie and Cersei Lannister.
Ooh, Kansas City is the home to people who put a gallon of ketchup on a steak.
And mustard.
Yeah.
Dorothy's dad, Toto.
Yes, Kansas City. A city where airline pilots fly over it, look down and say, nope.
Kansas City, the city where you have to get an NFL draft there in order to attract all the forms of high-quality entertainment.
Oh.
I heard in KC when you turn 18, they give you meth and ointment when you pick your face.
I heard that in Kansas City, you have to gain at least 500 pounds in order for you to qualify as a Kansas City Chief cheerleader.
Kansas City, they might as well go ahead and rename it to the Muppet Show City.
Ain't that the truth?
I'd rather lay face down over a garbage disposal than go there.
I'd rather get 100,000 paper cuts on my tongue than go there.
I'd rather castrate myself than live in the city of Seattle.
We're talking about Kansas City.
Oh, right. Sorry.
I'd rather eat soup off a hospital floor.
You know what, Tatum Raider? You're all right in my book, and I'm glad to admit you.
Not too bad yourself. Oh, yeah. Okay, that was bad.
Oh, good. The food is here. Wait, why do you have Slim Jims? Are you planning on putting those on your squeeze burger?
Hell yeah. It'll bring spice into this meal.
Tums will not help you, sir.
You're such a moron.
Gentlemen, to the Raiders.
And bring on the NFL draft.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, nice job.
That was
Nice
incredible.
job.
I love a good collab.
Love a good collab.
Yeah.
Good job there, Ty the Raider. Our good buddy,
awesome.
our good buddy Anthony. He's Ty the Raider on here. But man, we love you. And dude came out to spend time with us for the Titans Raiders game this year. Joined us for a little party here in a fan cave. And such a good guy. Such a good friend.
Dude.
Love it
Yeah.
when we get to meet people that become friends of ours outside of just the show. And and we're gonna keep bugging you to move out here.
Yeah.
So before we move on to the next call, I do also want to show this right here.
Oh,
so,
sell them something else.
Yeah, we haven't sold you
sold
enough
you enough
shit on
tonight.
this show.
Yeah.
If you've listened to our show for any amount of time, watch this show. For those of you on the audio podcast, I'm holding up a football that was signed at the Bolitnikoff Crab Fest dinner this past December. It's signed by folks like George Atkinson, Rod Martin, Jim Plunkett, Marcus Allen, of course Fred Bolitnikoff himself, Greg Townsend, Shooter McGavin, who else we got?
Jim
on
Plunkett.
there? Jim Plunkett, Lincoln Kennedy, all that stuff, man. And we just got our letter in the mail from
nice.
JSA. So this was certified. So we are asking $2,500 for this ball. So get in the mix, man. Get this thing, man. It's all going to the One Nation Foundation. It was literally signed at the event last year, and it's going to the money for the event this year. So get in the mix, man. For that.
That's a one of a kind ball.
It's a one of a kind.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You have a man cave, or if you want to start a man or a fan
what a
cave,
way
like
to start.
man, what an incredible way to start.
That's the way
like,
to get it
man,
going. Yeah, absolutely. So we're not going to auction that thing off, and we don't want to send it to an auction house because we want it to go to a Raider fan.
Yeah.
So, but if we have to, we'll send it to an auction house. But yeah, we've already got one. We've had two of them, and so we've already got the first one sold. And so get in on that one if you would like that. And man, you guys are just killing it on the donations tonight. Eddie Willis is in there with a $10 donation. Thank you so much, Eddie. Intel with another freaking $20.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much, Intel. B. Al is in there. Nobody does it as good as RFR with another $20 in there. Jason Hunter drops another 50 freaking bucks on us in there. You guys are absolutely insane, man, the way that you're bringing these donations. And just before that, Intel also dropped another 20. I mean, gosh, I can't wait to see where this thing goes tonight. And I can promise you this. So normally, you know, we when we start getting a lot of donations, we'll give out more than just the one Max Crosby jersey. And I apologize for the fulfillment department. It's a little slow around here because it's just me. But you will always get your item, I promise. But we've got some One Nation Foundation coffee mugs. We'll send a coffee mug, and I've got some. We'll get you a shirt.
I just talked to our lady at T Public too, and told her that you know, hey, it's fundraising season and stuff like that. So she's locked in and ready to go as well on some of that stuff. So we'll definitely get you some shirts as well.
Okay, and here, I'm going to flash it up real quick. Here's some of the One Nation Foundation mugs we got in. I'll send you one of these too. We'll draft for a couple of things tonight, or a few things tonight, because I don't know where we're at, and I don't want to know because I want it to be a surprise, but I know it's significant. So, all right, let's get to 2 more calls. Let's check in with our buddy down in Houston. We call him the Houstorian, and he is Houston Raiders Steve.
Murph, Mosh, Swag Jeff Nation, Houston Raiders Steve. Boy, the Raiders did a great draft. We went out and got Wilson from Texas Tech. JT the Brick says Chandler Jones, Max Crosby, Wilson. The quarterback is going to go down. He's going to go down hard. Quote, Al Davis. I tell you what, between that, the lineman that we got, defensive lineman from Alabama, he's going to be great. This guy Mayer, I called CBS Radio, Sports Radio Nationwide calling show. I said, can we compare him to Dave Casper? And he said, well, it's a little bit too early to say that and puts a lot of pressure on him, but I think he's going to be a great player. And also the receiver that we got from Cincinnati, we always get a speed burner. Can't get enough offensive linemen to help out. One from Arkansas on the other one. I tell you what, man, I'm still pumped up and excited about this team. They were given A's and B's, and we're rebuilding it with Barrel there as well. And I'm just so excited. All I can say is the Raiders are back, baby. We're all chasing Kansas City, and all I can say is we're not going away, brother. When I called the national radio show, CBS Sports line, we were talking about the quarterback. And he said, the host said that his friend, who's kind of an insider for the Raiders, was saying that this guy, quarterback we got from, I was going to say Princeton, the one we got from Purdue, is really going to be a great quarterback. He's going to be developmental. He says, unfortunately, with the way Jimmy G gets hurt, that there's a possibility that he's going to be starting this year and everything. So, it looks like there's a really strong possibility he's going to be starting, and he's a really good quarterback. So it's always great to hear that. So it wasn't meant to be to draft a player named Hooker for Las Vegas. I guess we already have enough of them out there as it is. But you're on the internet.
Steve.
Have a good day. Bye. Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right, there is Houston Raiders Steve. I love it. Love it. All right, we got one more to get to, so we're going to go from Houston, Texas, all the way up to Jersey and check in with our good friend. He is Rev Raider.
What's going on, Murph? Uncle Mosh, Young Swaggo, the F-Bomb sommelier, Michelle Sweat. This is Rev Raider calling from Jersey. Just wanted to give my thoughts, a little weigh-in on the draft. I went in with a fairly open mind on this one. You know, realizing this is a new regime. You know, we got to give them a chance to see what they do. And what I saw, I respected. You know, I wasn't mad at it. You know, that, of course, a lot of popular opinion. We didn't go get the guys that we wanted, you know, the popular people and stuff like that. But the picks we got weren't real head scratchers, you know. Of course, like, it wasn't a reach. We weren't complaining like we were with Cleveland Farrell and stuff like that. We didn't have that problem. You know, in essence, they took 2 valued first-round draft picks, in a sense, even though we got the second one in Michael Mayer in the second round, you know, and there were a lot of solid picks that I saw, and I'm not mad at. You know, I was even hearing something interesting. I was listening to something earlier about Byron Young, that he had just a few QB pressures less than Jalen Carter. So he wasn't that bad. He's kind of next in line, even though you hear other opinions of people kind of bashing him a little bit, saying, you know, they don't think we should have picked him. But I saw a lot of value in what we did, you know, and now we just got to act like we're from Missouri, you know, the show me state. They just got to show and prove, you know, and I'm just excited about it. Let's see where they go. You know, it seems like they were real heady and they stuck to their plan in the draft. So I like it. I like what I saw. It was different from what we're used to. It's not erratic.
Truth.
Man.
You know? But that's pretty much all I got. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I did notice that Uncle Mosh did call in. You know, good to hear Uncle Mosh. And I'd like to say Uncle Mosh needs to call in just a little bit more often, you know. Miss hearing his voice, and sometimes it's good to hear from the great Bush when he pops up like Grandma's boy, you know what I'm saying? But I always value his takes and stuff like that. Even though he's got his jersey in the rafters, it's good for the retirees to come in and just say a little something, you know. But I appreciate you guys. You know, the future definitely looks bright for us. I'm optimistic for this season. You know, we'll see how it pans out. But love you guys as always. Peace.
We love you,
awesome.
Rev. Man, so
Great
good.
call.
So good. So I will say this. So Swaggo and I were talking about it the other day, and we hadn't even talked to him about it yet. And if he's listening to this, then it'll be breaking news. But
Yeah.
we are going to invite Uncle Mosh back into the fan cave because we might have to start our first annual Hall of Fame ceremony around here. It's one thing to have like our Vanguard Awards and all that, but we think we might have to start an RFR Hall of Fame. And of course, that starts with him.
Absolutely.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know if I'm officially announcing something yet or not. 'Cause we haven't even
No,
talked to him about
absolutely.
it.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, have you talked to people about, you know, your process that you're going through in your personal life?
No. About the new fan cave?
yeah.
About the new fan cave?
I don't know. Should we hit that real quick before we get into
go
the,
ahead.
to the,
A
to
bit,
the
yeah.
thing?
So, and we're stalling also because someone donate $20.
Yeah.
To the One Nation Foundation.
And
but,
Pyro 1975 just
and
dropped
he,
in
well,
10
he
bucks
dropped
in
10,
there.
so we need 20 more.
Wow.
But yeah, so and I don't know why I'm breaking your personal news.
Do it. Go for it, man.
So Murph is moving on to bigger and better things, and
big
so the fan cave as well as the rest of the house is about to be for sale.
Yeah.
So he is about to put the house on the market. He's eyeing another spot that's just down the road right here, and it's a beautiful place. So hopefully he gets it. But it will be Fan
Me
Cave
and Valerie.
2.0. Yeah.
Me and
Vibrator
Vibrator.
and your old buddy Murph right there. They're going to be moving in together. So much respect to the two of you guys, and wish you all the best. But yeah, this new fan cave is going to be badass.
New fan cave 2.0,
man.
man.
So there will actually be a spot in the rafters for that
For
60
Uncle Mosh's jersey,
to be
yeah.
right there. So
Yeah.
yeah, and much respect to Pineapple because he got us $20. So,
Yeah, he
so
did.
there you go.
Yeah, we might even, our first RFR episode from the Fan Cave 2.0, we'll have to do that. We'll raise the freaking Uncle
ceremony,
Mosh's jersey into the rafters and induct him into the RFR Hall of Fame. So good stuff there.
Paul says is Murph donating the house to the Summer of Swag. Every $10 donation.
You want to buy the fan cave? It's
That's
all
right,
yours,
yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the price is right.
That's
Yeah,
right. Just keep
right.
an eye on those listings.
I don't have
realtor.com.
enough poker chips for that.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, so we appreciate you, Raider Nation, so very, very much, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to shut up about it because again, if we'd sat around and told you how much we appreciate you, we'd be here all night long. Thank you to all of those of you. I think we hit some pretty, I don't even know, and I don't want to know what the milestones are that we hit, but I know we hit a rare one tonight. Just the activity in the chat room tonight has been amazing. The donations have been amazing. Pre-show, the donations were amazing.
Yeah.
You guys are just the absolute best, and I thank you for the way that you support Raiders Fan Radio, but more importantly, the One Nation Foundation, because 100% of that money is going to the One Nation Foundation. Foundation, which supports Raiders-related charities, including our super fund, which is the Bolitnikoff Foundation, supporting Tracy's Place of Hope, and you are providing safe spaces and rehabilitative services for young women that are at risk of domestic violence and substance abuse. And so that's, your money is going to an amazing place for an amazing cause, and it's not hyperbole. You're literally changing lives with it. So thank you so very, very much to y'all for helping us out. And so that's the serious side of us. We are a light side journey into the dark side. So let's get goofy now and let's award a Sizzler Award, because we give a Sizzler Award to the best email or phone caller of the night. And then we're going to give away that jersey and a few other things. Swaggo, who do we have tonight?
Absolutely. So we started the night with some great emails. Matthew Mangus, Raider Shank, John Ogle, Daniel Mangus, and Paul with some great emails, of course. And then we started with Houston Raider Steve with an amazing email. Said that there was enough hookers in Vegas already. We didn't need another one. So Rev Raider, he respected the draft. He liked what he saw. But tonight's Sizzler Award is going to go to a collab voicemail that came from two of the Raiders Fan Radio legends. We are giving the Sizzler to Kill Jadis and Ty Raider.
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome.
Sizzler. Sizzler.
Sizzler. Sizzler.
Sizzler.
Sizzler.
We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
You know why we are here, and we ain't playing around today. From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
That's pretty funny. I wasn't expecting a high pitch on that one. Hell no, you weren't, man. I'm like a button ninja. Oh, nice.
Easy with the buttons. Hey, so
All right,
thanks,
let's give that damn thing away.
Hey, absolutely. So thanks everyone for donating. It all went to the One Nation Foundation, and you were playing for this tonight, and a much bigger cause as well. But this is a nice little consolation prize for that as well. So we had 27 people donate tonight.
Oh,
27 people donate tonight. So much respect to each and every one of you that donated. So do you want me to give you the total, or do you want me to give you or just run it down first?
Run it down.
Just run it down.
No. Tell me what we raised. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that. Yeah.
All right. So tonight for the One Nation Foundation, to kick off the summer of swag in a massive way, we raised $1,250 to the One Nation Foundation. My gosh, we started off the Summer of Swag 2023 with a freaking bang and a half right there. So much respect. Yeah, absolutely. Much respect to you guys.
Freaking rock. We love you so much.
Absolutely, man. So we're going to run this down right here. So, Michelle, if you want to come over here, I'm going to drop some of these chips in there. We're going to respect, again, each and every one of you. So Jay Will, $20 donation.
Thank you, Jay Will.
Let's see. Sharon Moya, $30 donation.
Thank you, Sharon.
Absolutely. Seamus Harrington, $20 donation.
Thank you, Seamus.
YO Raider, $20 donation.
Thank you, YO.
Kill Jadis, $10 donation.
Awesome.
Ty Raider, $10 donation.
Thank you, Ty.
Houston Raider Steve, $10 donation.
Thank you, Houston.
Ron, $40 donation.
Ron the Mater Raider. Thank you.
Absolutely. Trinidad, $20 donation.
Thank you, Trin.
John Ogle, $30 donation.
Thank you, John.
Ebony Graves, $20 donation.
Thank you, Miss Ebony.
Let's see. Chef B, $20 donation.
Thank you, Chef B.
Jay Morse, $20 donation.
Thank you, Jay.
Sun and River, $20 donation.
Nice. Thank you, Son.
Absolutely. Stacy Ruff, $50 donation.
Thank you, Stacy.
Daniel Mangus, $20 donation.
Thank you, Daniel.
Hooligan Nation, $70 donation.
Thank you, Hooligan.
Pineapple, $70 donation.
Thank you, Pineapple.
Ariel Zuniga, $20 donation.
Thank you.
Raider Den, $50 donation.
Thank you, Den.
B. Al, $20 donation.
Thank you, B. Al.
Eddie Willis, $10 donation.
Thank you, Eddie.
And hold on, I forgot to make a chip for Pirate 1975. I'm not.
And then make another chip for Yoshi too, because he just dropped a $10 donation.
Oh, good. Okay.
So make
good.
make
so
two.
$12.60. Pirate 1975.
No, so $12.70. Oh, you forgot one, and then you add
I
one.
forgot
Never mind,
one. I had one.
$12.60.
Yeah.
gotcha.
So Pirate 1975. Let's see. $10 donation, and
Thank you,
then
Pirate.
and then Yoshi a $10 donation.
Thank you, Yoshi.
as well.
Thank you. Let's give it up for everybody, man. This is
absolutely, and then the big boys.
Oh, we got more to go.
Absolutely, we got the big boys. We got the big boys here, man. So Big Shane.
Big Shane.
$200 donation to the One Nation Foundation.
Crap.
Raider Roo. $150
Thank you, Raider
donation.
Roo. Oh my gosh.
Jason Hunter, $160
$160.
donation.
Thank you, Jason.
And let's see, Intel. $140 donation.
Intel. Thank you, Intel.
Hey, so much respect to each and every one of you guys. Like we said, $1,260.
That's insane, y'all.
So Michelle is mixing it
Yeah,
up
mixing
really
good.
well. Yeah, she really shake that shit up there, Michelle.
Y'all see me doing it here.
Yeah, keep it up there.
Yeah,
Keep it all about it. Yeah. Okay.
A lot of damn chips in
There's
there.
a lot of damn chips in there.
Mix that shit up. Oh, there you
Is
go.
27 the most we've ever had?
As far as donators,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think so. I think that's the most people we've ever had donate one night.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, Michelle.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, make a fist around it and point it at the
Yeah, I'll
camera.
hold it. Yeah, I'll hold it. Yeah, mix it up a little bit more.
You're like, okay,
Getting
ready?
there nice
Here
and
we
deep,
go.
like.
All right.
All right.
Oh, you got it.
I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, swag's coming in.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
So let's see, what do we got there? Number 15. That is Jason Hunter. Congratulations, Jason Hunter. You are the proud owner of the Max Crosby AFL jersey.
Show 'em.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will be sending this to you, Jason Hunter. If you don't mind, send us your address, and we will be shipping this over there to you.
Absolutely. I think
So-
I've got his already, but do it again just in case, because
Good.
again, the fulfillment department around here sucks.
Good. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. So, hey, so next up, so we are going to draw for a One Nation Foundation mug. So let's see. Oh, you got one. You're good.
Okay. Yeah, as long as it's not 15.
Yeah,
Oh, it's another 15.
Oh, yeah.
Jason Hunter, you're a big winner tonight.
Oh, one just fell
hold
out.
on.
Was it a 15?
Oh, it was a 15.
Was it really?
It really was. It
Oh,
really
that's
was.
funny.
Yeah. Sure. Okay, ready?
All right.
Okay, here we go. It is.
It is number.
Well, shoot, it's a 14.
Is it
Oh,
14?
yeah, number 14.
Number 14. That is Chef B.
Hey, Chef B.
Chef
Wait,
B.
that's his second mug.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, hey, Chef B, send us your shirt size.
Yes.
And we will send you our new Raiders Fan Radio.
Sorry, here.
Oh, yeah.
We'll send you a shirt instead, since you already want a mug.
Yeah.
We'll send you a shirt like
Yeah,
this.
we'll send you
that's a
we'll
good
send
one.
you one of these, man.
Yeah, let's do
this
that.
new badass shirt. Respect to Jimmy Zebach for helping us
Yeah,
design
it's
this logo.
fucking
Yeah, that thing
badass.
is tight, dude.
Okay, so yeah, send us your shirt
Send
size.
us your shirt size and address again, and we will get that to you. So
your mug's on the way,
Let's do
by
the
the way.
let's do the mug again.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, mug again.
Sorry, guys. I'm really trying to shake them up.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
It's not 14 or
All right,
15.
what
No,
we
it's
got?
not. 18.
Number 18, that is Intel. Intel, much respect to you, bro. And hey, since you had that generosity of being willing to donate that jersey back, send us your shirt size as well.
Yeah, we'll send you a mug and a shirt.
We're gonna send you a mug and a shirt as well.
Right on.
So
Awesome.
yeah. So let's do one more shirt.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
it was a big
Okay.
night.
Let's do one more shirt.
It was a big night.
It was a big night.
All right. Goodness.
Another with a new RFR shirts?
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, the World Tour? Yeah, okay.
All right. It's a 3.
It's a 3.
Number 3, that is Raider Roo.
Hey!
Raider Roo. Send us your shirt size and your address, my friend, and we will send you one of our new shirts as well. Flash that thing up again, pal.
There you go.
Or I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this new badass shirt that we got, if you like Van Halen or anything like that, man, this is This gives off big Van Halen vibes, so get in the mix with that. So if you didn't win this tonight, T-Public, our page right there, go to RaidersFanRadio.com/gear. Click our logo right there, and it will take you to our T-Public page. They got sales going on all the time on that, and all that money that we
they're
make
like
doing
$13,
that.
man.
My gosh, man.
Yeah.
It's super
during
cheap.
sale time anyways.
During sales time,
Just
yeah.
catch it, yeah.
It's super cheap, man. So if you want one of those, man, all the money that we get off of that also goes to the One Nation Foundation. So thank you, everyone, for donating.
Oh, my gosh. Amazing
I can't believe it, man. $1,260 tonight.
Incredible.
All to
That's
the One Nation
incredible.
Foundation, man. And dude, we still got another Devontae back there.
Yeah.
We've got a Rich Gannon back there. We just got in the mail today a Tim Brown signed jersey. We got a Howie Long jersey coming up, man. We got all sorts of stuff. And our buddy Ricky O that we're working with, our new guy, man. He's still looking for stuff and he's finding stuff, man. This summer of swag is going to turn into the autumn of swag and all that stuff, man. We're going to keep rocking with this because our goal for the One Nation Foundation this year for the Bolitnikoff Foundation is $15,000. And I think we're going to hit it and we're going to rocket it past it, man, because we also got some corporate sponsors we're in the mix with. I mean, and even one that me and Murph are going to go be meeting with tomorrow. So,
That's right.
Yeah, we got a big one there. So much respect to each and every one of you guys because you guys started this, man, and this is the reason why we're doing this, man. So can't thank you enough. So Murph, what you got, man?
Man, all I got is gratitude. I just want to thank everybody. I really enjoyed the draft this past weekend. Thanks everybody that came through the Raiders Fan Radio little draft segments that we did with myself and QB Jeff and of course Swag Jeff. And so I appreciate you guys for doing that and supporting Raiders Fan Radio and the One Nation Foundation in the most amazing way that you do. Again, we've got some big stuff coming up, and it's all because of you guys. None of this happens without your support. And even for those of you that can't support the show monetarily, just give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a subscribe, rate and review the show on whatever audio podcast that you listen to. And now that we're going to be doing these things and kind of giving taking donations early, like before the show. So if you're an audio only listener and you want to donate, go to RaidersFanRadio.com and just click the One Nation Foundation link. That will take you to the donate page, and you can donate. Let us know that you want to get in on that, on whatever thing that we're giving away, and we will definitely include you in that. And so thank you so very, very much. Big things coming for the One Nation Foundation and the Bolitnikoffs this year, and we don't do it without you. We love you guys. Michelle, take us on out.
Yeah, man, I just want to say too, just a reminder to everybody, your donations, the Tracy's Place of Hope, it is literally daily helping women get the help they need to get out of situations that are really, and I think everyone that we know has known somebody that's in a situation where they need the help and they just can't find it. And to have a space where you can go and you feel safe to get the things together that you need, jobs, housing, those kind of things, man, your donations are helping that. And that just means so much. And it's just an incredible, to even be a part of this is incredible. So I just want to thank everybody for the donations. Whether, I know if you didn't win, the One Nation Foundation is still going to help this play. It's just such an important cause, man.
Yeah.
And I just want to thank everybody. I don't think we can say thank you enough for that. It's just incredible.
No, we can never say thank you enough, man. And you may
guys
not
rule.
you may not have won a prize tonight, but you won because you helped the foundation.
Thank
you
you.
helped the Bolitnikoff
Yeah.
family. You helped these young women that are at risk and stuff like that, and help them be able to get back into the real world and all that stuff.
Space
to
like
have
that
a
is so
safe
important.
space and all that.
Yeah.
Breaking cycles, man.
Absolutely. The counseling that they need, man. The shelter that they need. The toiletries that
just
they need.
having a consistent space to go is
absolutely,
huge.
Absolutely,
yeah,
man.
I love it.
Absolutely, we love
rock,
it, man. And thank you, everyone. Like I said, 27 people donated tonight. That's
incredible.
That's incredible, man. And we had 150 people watching at one time tonight. That's really, really cool as well. So hey, thanks everyone for tuning in to another episode of Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. Don't forget, boys and girls, what happens in Vegas, it started in Oakland.
Damn right.
All right, we'll see you in a couple weeks. We're gonna take a couple weeks off as the fan cave gets torn apart and all that stuff. But we will find you somewhere out and about, not in the fan cave. Yeah, always on the Twitters.
Always on the Twitters.
Okay. See you. Bye.
YouTube.
Goodbye.
Adios, malingerers.
Well, yeah.